when you have given your body to that one franchise the entire time. That's going to make anybody upset. But there's a right way and a wrong way and a professional way to go about it, and this probably ain't it. I mean, it is funny. It is original. And rushing to Twitter to list your home right after a loss is really funny and really original. But maybe not the best look. I mean, next time you want to get off a team that you hate so much, just go the Deion Waiters route. Pop a bunch of weed gummies on a flight and then stroke out. I mean, look at that guy now. Champion with the Lakers only a few months later. And in fact, was going to get a ring either way. I mean, look at it that way, right? They might move you to a team that's going to get a ring, or maybe the Bengals get a ring, and then you win-win. Also, do not go selling your house before you have another lined up. Maybe you wait until the trade deadline. I've had this happen to me. In fact, this is exactly what happened to me. We sold our house without having another house, and then I got a house that I thought that I really liked, and then I didn't, and I had to redo it. Trust me, bro, if you need advice on how to handle something like that, come to me, because I handled it all wrong. And then I ended up with a neighbor that dropped a note in my box telling me to replant trees because I was messing with their privacy. Carlos, I can help you. Come to me, Carlos. Come to me. Haunted horse tweets. The plaque for people, third on the depth chart, is down in the ladies' room. Signed Coach Iceman.
The plaque for the alternates is down in the ladies' room.
Oh, Jesus.
Mav and Goose love that one.
That's right.
That's right. Now I'm done. That's right. Goose is dead. Now I'm done.
Now I'm done.
My thanks to John Morosi. You've got Game 6 this evening. He helped us break it down. Alex Anzalone of the Saints. Adrian Amos of the Packers. My thanks to my XR4TI crew. And you clones, have a great day. See you tomorrow. We're out.
Order! Continue, Ms. Garner.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day.
Objection! My credit card doesn't earn double miles on every purchase.
I object to your objection. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase.
Order!
And right now, earn 100,000 bonus miles when you spend $20,000 in your first year.
I'll allow it.
No further questions, Your Honor. Well, just one. What's in your wallet?
Limited time offer. Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt? Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs. Call Civic Tax Relief for free information now. Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs you qualify for free. Just call 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
Hey y'all, it's Lisa with Halloween Express, Greenville's Halloween superstore for 22 years. It's been a crazy year, but Halloween is not canceled. We have everything you need to make this Halloween one to remember. And did someone say mask? Yeah, we have the largest selection of masks in Greenville, plus every other costume you can think of. Come visit our new location in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Halloween Express, what are you going to be?
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Discover a new wave of refreshment. Crafted using seltzer water, 5% alcohol, and a hint of fruit. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with natural flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, 2019 Chicago. Visit whiteclaw.com for full nutritional information.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs of Greenville. Right now, for a special time, Sparky Snowballs is open every day from noon to 8 in the Food Truck Rodeo on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road. Stop by for a delicious icy treat. Plus, did you know Sparky's also has funnel cakes and fried Oreos too? Support your local Food Truck Rodeo every day from noon to 8 on the corner of Evans Street and Fire Tower Road. Sparky Snowballs, serving delicious icy treats to smiling faces for over 20 years. Visit Sparky's on Facebook or SparkySnowballs.com.
Let us help you get back to business. This is Donald Stocks and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina. We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that. Plus custom social distancing signage. Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all. We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Hey Pirate fans, the Papa John's menu has grown again with the all-new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. The papadillas are part sandwich, part pizza, and are only $6. Choose from the all-new grilled buffalo chicken, Philly cheesesteak, Italian, pepperoni meatball, and barbecue chicken and bacon, all for only $6 each. Also, for a limited time, get any large 5-topping pizza for only $13.99. Place your order today online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple!
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello everyone, welcome in to Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios and coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are live online, PR927FM.com, and you can watch us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Subscribe to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube and check out all of our local programs and content like the Brian Bailey Show, this program, also the Bud Light pregame tailgate coming your way Friday at 5 o'clock, and a late night, early morning edition of the U.S. Cellular 5th Quarter Call-In Show, which will be a lot of fun Friday evening on into Saturday morn. Coming up on today's program, former ECU lefty, now with the Cardinals organization, Evan Kruczynski will join us. We'll talk about what Evan's up to, talk about the World Series, and he's fired up because he is a Wisconsin native and his Packers are looking good this year. So all that and more coming up with Evan Kruczynski in about 15 minutes. Mike Mullis going to drop by here in hour number one. We will talk baseball and more with Mully. Also, Billy Weaver, WITN Sports Director, will join me at 4 o'clock. They have still not been able to get the race in Texas, and they're there at the track right now, and I'm following updates from reporters who are there, and it is still, I guess, misty and cold, and they're just unable to get back to racing. I believe they started it on Sunday, and now they are still trying to get it in. Maybe it'll be going on when I'm talking to Weave at 4 o'clock. I don't know. We'll see. Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, also going to join us on a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. So We got all that, some Mike Houston comments. We got Zooms with the coordinators coming up later today after this program. So keep it locked to Pirate Radio's social media sites. You'll read what Donnie Kirkpatrick and Blake Harrell had to say, and then we'll have those videos out for you later on as well. So we'll catch up with those guys coming up Tuesday early evening here and have that for you on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. All right, let's get to the Shirley Rhodes news desk to start today's show. I will mention, Shirley, that the Pirates, at last check, still a 17.5-point underdog as they get ready for Tulsa on Friday night. So we will be with you 5 o'clock on the Bud Light pregame tailgate on Friday. Shirley, what else is going on today in news?
Well, the Marshall FIU game that was scheduled for Friday night has now officially been postponed. There were some COVID cases, and they're going to try to reschedule the game, but they are probably not going to be able to. Both teams don't have similar open dates as of right now, so we'll keep an eye on that. A couple of Tulane games that have got some date changes. The American announced this earlier this afternoon. Tulane at Tulsa, which was scheduled for a Friday, I think it was a Friday night game, I'm not quite sure, but it's been moved to Thursday, November 19th with a 7:30 kickoff. And then Tulane is set to host Memphis on Saturday, November 28th. No time has been set for that as far as kickoff goes. That'll be coming up a little bit later on as far as that announcement. Southern Miss interim coach Scotty Walden has accepted the head coaching job at Austin Peay. And what makes this story interesting... That's a crazy
story, by the way.
Yeah, what makes this story interesting is that this will be the third head coach this season. Now, keep in mind, we're not even, I would say for some, we're about halfway through. For others, they're just beginning their football season. But this has been a very interesting story. We'll keep an eye on this. But, of course, the original coach was let go, and then Scotty Walden stepped in. But then he missed the previous game due to COVID. Had been basically quarantining and isolating himself, and now all of a sudden he's accepted a new head coaching position. So this has been a whirlwind as far as what's going on over at Southern Miss, so we'll keep an eye on that.
They're going to have an interim for the interim, and it is coaching musical chairs. And, you know, depending on your perspective, this is kind of like a bonus year. For some, like if you're really good this year, you're saying, oh, this year counts. It's a regular year of college football.
Absolutely.
If you're not, you're saying, okay, well, this is a throwaway year. All our players are coming back anyway. And I think Southern Miss may be treating this year that way with everything going on in their program right now.
Yeah, it's a very interesting story. A lot of moving parts, so we'll keep an eye on that. Also, ESPN College Game Day announced earlier today that they're going to basically cover two events at one time. They're going to have College Game Day at Augusta National.
Yeah.
The Saturday of the Masters weekend.
What do you think?
I have trouble with this one. Mainly because there are polar opposites when it comes to what these sports do. You've got your crazy college fans, and then you've got your more subdued, you know, I wouldn't call them as rowdy as college fans. I mean, I do know that some golf fans get a little rowdy, but I just don't see them being as rowdy as college game day fans.
Here's why I don't mind it as much this year, because of something you just said. The rowdy college game day fans can't be at college game day. So they might as well have it at Augusta. I don't know.
Well, that's a good point.
And so this is obviously Saturday, so this will be day 3. Like, they're not going to be on the course, I would imagine, maybe right outside it or something. I don't know, but an interesting crossover event, I guess.
I mean, you just don't see something that covers college football and basketball showing up at an event that involves golf.
Which
that's just me.
The Masters is what, April normally? So I mean, it's already a strange deal with having the Masters this time of year. So it's going to be a weird weekend for sure with all that going on.
Yeah, and as far as NFL news, I did mention that Dwayne Harris had did a workout with the Chicago Bears. He's not been signed, but we're still kind of keeping an eye on that because it's nothing has come up from that as of right now. But the Bears do need a punt returner, so we'll keep a close eye on that. And Des Bryant is on track unless something changed in the last couple of hours and I didn't see it. He's on track to sign with the Ravens practice squad. So Des back in football.
Back to Dwayne and the Bears. I hope he gets signed because there's a chance he could play quarterback or cornerback or punter or because Matt
wide
Nagy
receiver
has no clue. Like they're running all these plays with Cordero Patterson as running back. And Bears fans were losing their minds last night with the play calling, with the ineptitude of Nick Foles. Like, they are, I don't know, an angrier fan base of a team that's ever been 5-2. Like, they're still in pretty good shape, but man, they're brutal offensively. And Matt Nagy almost he gets way too cute with all his parts and pieces. Like he doesn't know how to use everybody on his team. So if Dwayne goes to the Bears, he could be doing a lot of different things with the way Nagy coaches. So something to keep an eye on.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on. And the other thing was something I told you earlier today. It was a tweet by Big Man on Campus, and I thought it was rather interesting considering the disaster that is in the Big D in Dallas. Big Man on Campus citing sources, unknown sources, that the Cowboys are looking to seek either a trade or something to get Ryan Fitzpatrick to come to Dallas.
Did he have a shirt on? Did he curse or?
No, it wasn't a video. Right. It was just a plain. It was just a plain tweet. Okay. But I just thought it was rather interesting, and I was like,
Fitzpatrick. Look, you look around the league. He could probably start in Washington right now. He could definitely start in Dallas. I'd rather watch Jameis play. Because you're going to get 300 yards. You're going to get a couple touchdowns. Now, you might get 4 interceptions. Mm-hmm. But it is entertaining football if you're not a fan of that team. It's probably frustrating if you watch Jameis turn it over once every 3 possessions. But if I'm a team that needs it, like, why wouldn't Dallas go get Jameis right now?
I don't know.
Perfect. With all those receivers, and they don't value the football anyway. They turn it over more than anybody. Elliott, yes. Maybe Elliott will stop fumbling if Jameis fumbles every time.
Well, right now, what they need is an offensive line. They have 0 offensive line. No protection whatsoever.
You know what they need, Shirley?
Uh-oh.
They need some leadership, I think.
Oh.
And Cowboys owner...
Nice segue.
Thank you. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones was on 105.3 The Fan earlier today and was asked about leadership on the Cowboys.
Does your team have a leadership void?
When we're in the offensive line, where
just overall, when
seriously, where would you have a leadership void? Is it an experience void? Is it a talent void? Is it a leadership void? I'm not trying to be cute here. The answer is no. The answer is no.
I'm asking.
There's not a. Well, just shut up and let me answer. No.
Shut up and let me answer.
Shut up. I'm Jerry. Jerry Jones. No leadership issue in Dallas. Clearly, if you've watched their games. They just lost 25-3 to Washington.
Yeah, he's like, is there a leadership void? Yes. Is there a talent void? Not so much.
No, you've got plenty of players.
I mean, he's got all the pieces to make
a quarterback.
Yeah, well, I mean... I'm talking about if Dak was healthy, yes, you have all the pieces to have one hell of a team. But obviously something's not right. If you can't get the team to perform the way you want it to, there's got to be a leadership void.
And he's still backing his head coach, Mike McCarthy. That was my favorite Jerry Jones audio since the classic Glory Hole audio, Shirley. Remember that?
Yeah,
Let's hear that.
I think that's a part of leadership, is to have some of the guys that have gone before that have been disappointed to share it with everybody involved. For me, it's a reminder. I, too, have been here 23 years. And it is a reminder, I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole. So I have that perspective.
I want to remind everybody that glory hole is a commonly used expression in the oil and gas exploration business.
Yeah, what's so funny about that? What did you think it meant?
I just like that he had to explain that at the very end.
I don't get it. What's so like? He wants the glory hole days back.
I want me some glory hole.
Yeah, like ECU Peach Bowl season, like top 10 in the country. Shirley, I want the glory hole days back for ECU.
I want me some glory hole.
CIT champions, Akeem Richmond at the buzzer against Weber State. Let's bring back the glory hole days, Shirley. I want me some glory hole.
Cliff
Godwin has been so close to the glory hole so many times. The glory hole days, Shirley.
There's so many different things I could go with.
I want me some glory hole.
And we'll talk to Evan Kruczynski here shortly. It was part of that, so close to getting to Omaha. We want those glory hole days for ECU baseball too.
Well,
I want me some glory hole.
I just.
Why is everybody looking at me funny? Talking about the big.
It could be a total goat rodeo.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's take a time out. We'll come back and we will talk to the big lefty, former ECU starting pitcher Evan Kruczynski, now in the Cardinals organization. We'll find out what he's up to. Has he played any baseball? Has he been watching baseball? The World Series? We will find out. And also, he's fired up about his Green Bay Packers. That and more on the way. Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. Too many greats are passing away. I'll have some thoughts right after this.
Hi, this is Luke Kuechly. Last season, I was captain on defense. This season, since so many of us will be watching football from home, I'm football watching with Pepsi. And you know me, I pour everything I've got into it. All right, football watchers, let's do this. Opening click-offs. Here we go. Click on, click off. Click on, click off. Stretch that thumb. You can't have finger fatigue bringing you down in the postseason. Nice job. And my favorite, second half sip-offs. Pepsi's up, lift, pull, open. Ice cold Pepsi and watching football. Nothing better.
It's not game day without a delicious, refreshing Pepsi, the official soft drink of the National Football League. Head to your nearest retailer, grab your Pepsi before kickoff, then sit back, relax, and cheer on your favorite team. Pepsi, made for football watching.
Hall of Fame baseball players Bob Gibson and Lou Brock, relief pitcher of the Los Angeles Dodgers Ron Perinoski, and professional wrestler Animal of the Road Warriors have all passed away in recent weeks. It hits home to me because the three baseball players were all guys I looked up to when they were playing in the 60s. And Animal, real name, Joseph Laurinaitis, was only 60 years old. He was also known as James Laurinaitis' dad, the Ohio State All-American football player who played 8 years in the NFL. You may also remember Bullet Bob Armstrong, another pro wrestler out of Charlotte, who performed for WCW. He passed away, too, at age 80. Life is way too short, and it goes by far too quickly. Our heroes are mortal, too, just like all of us, but it's still tough to lose them and sad, too. Here's to enjoying every day. Come on back next time, and we'll visit Inside the Booth.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in Eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Banking is banking until the service is not the same. This year has been unusual, but at Select Bank and Trust, they have continued to focus on what has been important to them, their customers. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? Try Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Welcome back to Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Coming up in a little bit, Mike Mullis will join us in the Pirate Radio studios, talk a little baseball. Also, Billy Weaver, WITN Sports Director, will join us at 4 o'clock, and Stephen Igoe will be in the Pirate Radio studios at 4:30 as we'll talk ECU and Tulsa coming up this Friday, as football will take center stage following hopefully tomorrow night, hoping for a Game 7 in the World Series. Game 6 coming up tonight. Blake Snell on the mound facing Tony Gosselin for the Dodgers. And we'll talk a little baseball now. ECU and professional with former East Carolina left-hander, now a member of the St. Louis Cardinals organization, Evan Kruczynski, joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Evan, how you doing, man?
Doing great. How are you?
Hey, doing good. Evan, we talked to you last... and it could have been 6 months ago or 6 weeks ago. Time is not a thing anymore, seemingly. But it was right before the NFL draft, because I remember talking to you about the draft. And also, I know you weren't playing much baseball around that time. You were playing MLB The Show. So now we have real football to watch. And is there any real baseball to play? Have you been active in baseball here lately?
Active, yes. Playing, no. About 2 weeks ago, transitioned into kind of off-season mode. A little different this year. Don't really have to shut down much from throwing, because I didn't really throw much this year. I was just, staying ready if my name was called, but never really faced any live hitting after June. So, pick up a baseball a little sooner now. Obviously, I'm not going to go full go. I'm not getting off the mound for a while, but changing some stuff up and should be ready to go for next spring training.
Yeah.
But on a side note, last time we did talk was before the draft, and I said the Packers were going to take Patrick Queen. They traded up, lined everything up to take Patrick Queen, and then we won't talk about the rest, because not sure which direction they were headed with that pick, but maybe in 7 years it'll work out.
All right, we'll get to your Packers in a moment. I know that's all you want to talk about, and that's fine. I'll talk about that too. But stick to baseball, Evan.
Yeah.
So, and the frustrating thing for everybody going through the pandemic was like they needed some kind of light at the end of the tunnel, a date, like something, a carrot at the end of the stick to kind of go after. And none of you baseball guys had that. I'd asked, all your former teammates that I'd talked to, and they'd say, well, I don't know what the plan is. How about now, Evan? Is there a plan, like turn of the calendar year, you kind of start a normal year of baseball? At least is that in the cards right now, as far as you know?
No idea. Who knows where this thing is headed, honestly. I think in, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, I think it will be a little bit more clear, if you're catching my vibe. But, yeah, no, who knows? All I can do and all the rest of us can do that are playing, just stay ready and work towards what would be a spring training. Still have no idea what's going to happen there, but you can't act like there's going to be no spring training going to go right into the season. So you got to treat everything like it's going to be normal and then adjust on the go. And, I think Coach Godwin has prepared us pretty well for adjusting on the go. And that's all you can do.
Evan, I remember talking to Bryant Packer during the regular season, and he was not a part of the Tigers' kind of a farm team that could be called up immediately to go play with Detroit, but he said he was kind of like a doctor on call, that they said stay ready. They could send him to the site if they needed to and potentially could get a professional AB in Major League Baseball. How about you? How close were you to potentially getting some playing time this year with the Cardinals, Evan?
How close, couldn't tell you, but Cardinals were the first team to really have the big widespread hit the organization, and at the time I was at home, but they were also in Milwaukee. So they were in Milwaukee, it all happened, and I got a call, and they asked me what my pitch count was, and I told them my pitch count. I told them I was ready to go. I was at the time. I was working out, still throwing, still facing hitters, so I was ready. Heard nothing back, and then just went on with my summer. So I couldn't tell you how close I was, but I could tell you I was very close to Miller Park where all these guys were, because they were actually quarantined. A lot of my buddies who were in the big league were quarantined downtown Milwaukee, but they couldn't leave the hotel. They were getting tested every day, and I'm pretty sure by the end of it they didn't want to come back here. But no, that's all I heard this summer.
Wow, what a weird deal, and who knows? You might have been very close to getting on the big league mound, Evan. And again, we don't know the future of this thing. We know what we saw in 2020, and it was baseball in big league parks. Unfortunately, baseball with no fans. And I'm a Braves fan, Evan, and I enjoyed baseball this year because my team was good and I enjoyed watching them. I don't know about the average fan watching their team and how much they could enjoy it since it was so different. But how about you as a player? Like, do you watch it as a fan of the game? Do you not watch it because you're frustrated you're not playing? What was it like for you to watch this year?
Honestly, I really wasn't frustrated this summer. It's a numbers game. And at the end of the day, teams at their alternate site had to decide to either bring on prospects to make sure they can be hands-on and help them get their work in, even though they had zero chance of being called up this year. Teams still had to bring prospects in. They're young guys. They're 17 through 19-year-olds to make sure that they could develop them. Whereas, like a guy like me, they trusted a lot of guys in my situation to stay at home, get our work in, and stay ready.
Yeah.
So at the same time, even though I wasn't at the alternate site, at no point did I have any resentment towards the Cardinals. I got my work in every day. I had more freedom being outside of the bubble, or the bubble at our alternate site, so to say. Like I could golf, I could, go to a gym and work out whenever I wanted. I could throw with whoever I wanted and throw to catchers, and so I was still able to get my work in with a little more freedom. Would have I wanted to be at the alternate site? Absolutely. Did I want to pitch in the big leagues this year? Absolutely. I don't want to get you wrong that I was happy I had a summer. I wasn't. I missed the heck out of playing some baseball, but at the same time, no resentment whatsoever. I got my work in. I'm feeling better now than I was feeling 2 years ago. So honestly, a year off from facing live hitters, can't really tell you where it's going to take me, but as of right now, I feel great, and just being able to sit back and watch the games this summer is something that when you're playing in the minor leagues, you don't really get to do. You're always playing, and if you're not playing, you're at the field doing something or traveling or something. So it was pretty cool being able to watch a bunch of baseball games this year and kind of, learn from the best and pick up some things and sit back. And for me, I like listening on the radio because I'm spoiled. I got Bob Uecker calling Brewers games on the radio here, so I haven't been able to listen to those games since about 2013. So I tuned into as many as I could, even though division rivals, but it's all right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Unique perspective from Evan Kruczynski joining us today. Evan, how much has baseball, and you're still young in your career, but how much has it changed? Like, it used to be a starter goes his 7-8 innings, and you got a setup guy, you got a closer, and you still have your long relief, middle relief guys if a starter can't go but 3 or so innings. But now with the openers and everything has changed, like, what is your role on your minor league team? What will be your role when you do make it to the bigs? Are you a starter that needs to go 6 innings? Is it 5 innings? You know what I'm saying? It just seems like everything is kind of condensed down now, and it's changed a lot.
For sure, no question about it. And in 2018, when I was in the fall league, I don't know if you remember the Brewers in the playoffs that year. I mean, they started a pitcher against the Dodgers, Wade Miley, and purposely only sent him out there for 1 inning so they could get all of the righties in the lineup so they could bring in a righty. And I think there's a lot more of that going on with the analytics and scouting reports being so advanced now that managers are trying to find a way to, get all their. Let me put it this way. So Dodgers are playing the Rays. Right now they have all day today, they've just been breaking down Blake Snell. Dodgers have been. And what he's going to throw, what tendencies he has, if they can pick something up. So if they're sitting there studying him all day, I mean, I think that's a big reason why leashes are so short, is when a reliever comes in, they have 2 minutes to look at an iPad or something like that. And now, obviously, it's Game 6, so the series has been on. They're probably going to see somebody they've already faced. But I think that goes into it a lot. I mean, there's just so much data out there right now. I mean, I could go – they just came out Sunday. I could go back and look up something from 2017 in my first professional day or outing in low A. And, I mean, it's just the way the game's going, and I think managers are turning it into more of like a chess game and chess match and playing different pieces and pulling starters early. But it'll be interesting once hopefully they go back to a 162-game schedule. I mean, you can't be just burning your bullpen out like you could in this little sprint that they had this year in the 60-game schedule. So I guess we'll see if it turns back, but they did have an extra pitcher to work with this year as well, so they usually either put another guy in the bullpen or, like you said, they were using openers. But, yeah, the game is definitely changing, no question about it. And I guess time will tell if it's really good or bad.
And I don't mind change in sports. One thing I'm still an old man on, and I'm starting to come around to it, though, Evan, is the DH. It's kind of silly that, like, the National League is the only, like, entity in all of baseball that has the the pitcher hit, because in, like, Little League and whatever, Babe Ruth and high school and college, there's a DH. So if that sticks around, I can get over it. How about you, though, as an NL pitcher? Like, that's one more tough out you got to get on the mound.
So I know this is poking at the bear. Coach Godwin might get a little upset about this, but I think it was my senior year in the fall. I was watching the hitters hit, and I was talking some smacks from the outfield in BC or something like that, and Coach Godwin yelled at me or something and it got a little heated, and then it turned into the team setting up a home run derby after either a lift or practice or something. And I actually beat him, and he told me to go pick up all the balls, and he walked off the field and drove home. So I was out there picking up all the balls that we hit by myself. So yeah, but actually at the end I said, if I make it to the big leagues, no, I was obviously kidding, but I said, if I make it to the big leagues, I think I remember my first home run and cherish that more than my first strikeout. And he got a little chuckle out of that. But no, I think it's good for the game. I mean, at the end of the day, I've gotten 2 hits in the minor leagues. You don't start hitting until double A. I've gotten 2 hits, and both innings after I've gotten the hit have not been good. You sit on the bases. You're not sitting in the dugout relaxing and getting ready for your next inning. Both of my hits were singles, so you're sitting on the base pass. You're not, you're trying your best to stay focused for the next upcoming inning, but at the same time, you got to know the situation, when to go first, third, and stuff like that. So, I mean, being able to, control being in the dugout for every half inning, that is the nice thing. But I do enjoy going off the bat every now and then.
Well, if they do have the DH now in the National League, we could just say, Evan Kruczynski would have been the next, Madison Bumgarner, guy that just drops bombs.
I was the first pitcher called off the bench last year at AA and AAA to pinch hit if we were short on position players. So,
damn, are you sure you're at the right position, Evan? Should you be over at first or out? I mean.
I was always telling Bryce I was better than him at hitting, but
Evan Kruczynski joining us. Evan, let's talk a little Packers before you get out of here. I know you're fired. While I was setting this interview up, you threw a little shot there at your former coach, Mike McCarthy, who, look, as a Washington fan, I'm really happy what happened on Sunday with the Cowboys and Washington. But Mike McCarthy not faring so well. Your Packers, on the other hand, looking great right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl in Green Bay. I was able to be alive in 2010 to watch the Super Bowl. That he coached a team, but I just think that so many of those teams had so much talent. Like, yeah, you won one Super Bowl, but you look at some of these dynasties like the Patriots, they took full advantage of those teams that they had stacked 1, 2, 3, 4 Super Bowls, and I'm not one to sit. I'm not that fan that's just going to sit around and blame a head coach just because. Listen, I play in a professional clubhouse, and very, very few times is the coach to blame. Sometimes the locker room can take over and create their own culture. But anyways, off of Mike McCarthy, it's been fun to watch Rodgers kind of get back, and he looks like he's having fun again, competing. I did see a little whiny Rodgers 2 weeks ago against Tampa, but.
Well, after he did that celebration, Evan, everything went downhill.
And here's another thing. On that play, right, flag was thrown because it was a late hit, but then they said, oh, well, he dove head first, so it can't be a late hit because he didn't give himself up. But then they said they gave himself up and he didn't score a touchdown. So, I mean, that's another thing.
Evan's a diehard fan. If you folks can't realize it, Evan really takes this seriously. I love it.
I mean, don't get me started with the Bucks. Don't even get me started.
Hey, maybe you'll see him again. You think you'll see him again in the postseason?
Well, who knows if they're even going to start up. I bought season tickets, and now I'm probably not going to be able to use the single ticket to go to. Yeah, me and my buddy go in on season tickets every year, and then we usually travel to a road game for the Packers. Well, a road game already got refunded. We were supposed to go to Indy, and now our season tickets are getting all messed up.
Wow, that sucks.
And sports are in shambles.
And I guess you haven't bought a Jordan Love jersey yet? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, very far from a Jordan Love jersey. And AJ Dillon got his first opportunity last week. I'm not out on him yet. I'll let him develop. Running backs got to get their feet wet a little bit before they get comfortable. But no, it is frustrating. I would like to see them go out and get a guy like Chase Claypool or, just some type of weapon and see what Rodgers could do with them. But at the end of the day, he's throwing to Joe Schmo and making it work. So
that he is. Evan Kruczynski joining us. Yeah, he had an okay game on Sunday.
Yeah, it's all right.
Evan, finally, before we let you go, how are you watching this World Series? Are you just sitting back enjoying baseball? Do you have a rooting interest, a buddy on one side or the other? What's your take on Dodgers and Rays?
Honestly, just enjoying it. The last baseball we're going to have for a while, and who knows when it's going to start back up again. So I'd love to see it go 7 games, but really just love watching Clayton Kershaw pitch. Watching him finally, I think it's a crock of crap that everyone just blasts him for the playoffs. If you go back and look at his playoff record, it's not great, but at the end of the day, the guy's one of the best to ever do it. And anytime he steps foot on the rubber, I'm going to tune in and watch how he attacks hitters, watch how he goes about his business, and most importantly, watch how he competes. I mean, the guy will compete from the first pitch he makes to the last one until they pull him, whether it's going good or bad. He's always competing out there. So, he's like, for me, the LeBron James of baseball. So I take full advantage of every game I can watch him throw and tune in whenever I can.
Well, it might come full circle if if the Dodgers win this thing. He might be World Series MVP in 2020. After
I'd love to see it.
Evan, thanks so much for joining us, man. Always enjoy the chat. We'll keep in touch with you and hope you can get back on a diamond, back on a mound sometime soon.
Yeah, same here. Would love to hopefully one day be out there playing in it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you, Evan. Appreciate it, man.
Yep. How's it going?
Evan Kruczynski, he is a professional athlete, but also a diehard Packers fan. And Mike Mullis joins us here. Came in towards the tail end of that interview. Mully, I talked to a lot of guys, and you were a ball player.
Yeah.
And also a big sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
I guess growing up as a fan, when I started talking to these athletes, I assumed everybody involved with sports was like me and loved sports and watched all the games. There's a ton of athletes out there that really don't even like sports. They're just good at it, and they use their skills to get a scholarship or get paid and don't pay attention to what else is going on in any other game anywhere. It's kind of weird to me. It was weird to me at first. Now I get it a little bit.
No, I think it's kind of like a chef not wanting to watch a cooking show or a builder not wanting to watch, HGTV. I think it's, one of those things is these guys do it for a living. They obviously have had a passion for it, but it is what they do. I think the ones that excel largely are still in love with whatever game it is that they play. But no, when you get to that level, and it's a hard thing to understand for those of us that just love whatever game it is. It is, you hear this, it's a business. Listen, it is a business. It is a job. You punch the clock. You do what you have to do. Sometimes all of us don't like our job. It provides for our families, and that's what we do. And so no, that's kind of probably more normal than the average consumer would think.
No, it is. And that caught me off guard at first. Also, going out to football practice on like a Sunday, or talking to a coach on Monday, and before we start the interview, kind of shooting the breeze, like, man, how about that Packers-Texans game on Sunday? It's like, what happened?
Yeah,
what do you mean? You're a football guy. You know all the football stuff. Well, I was working. Who scored?
I enjoyed the games from a baseball standpoint more as a coach than I did as a player. It was kind of funny. Like, I didn't want to watch other people play. I wanted to play. I wanted them to watch me play. Mm-hmm. But as a coach, I would look at it through a whole different set of eyes. And I think what Cruz said there was, he's watching Kershaw, looking for comparisons, looking for, what does he do that I need to do? It's almost like a lab. It's a study in what's going on. And when you hear, he's the best in the business. That's more the type of conversation you get with pro guys than you get with, again, the average fan or consumer of the game.
Evan is one of us. He enjoys listening to Bob Uecker. He enjoys screaming at the Packers, putting together his NFL draft guide. And he also happens to go out and throw lefty and do quite well.
He's pretty good
on the pitching mound.
Yeah.
Shirley, let's take a time out. More with Mike Mullis. We'll talk baseball and Packers. Somehow this turned into the baseball and Packers hour.
Nice lineup you made.
I guess so. Coming up next hour, we've got Greg Jennings.
Wow.
Dorsey Levens will join us.
Nah.
Try to get Mark Chimura, but I think he got in trouble. Anyway, all right, we'll take a time out. More to go. Mike Mullis is here. We're back after this.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
Anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Hey guys, this is Amanda from the Man Cave. Do you need your hair cut, or what about a beard trim? The Man Cave is the newest spot just for you. I'm the local owner, and my goal is to make sure you have a place to be pampered and treated like a man. We don't have the girly stuff. Our cave is masculine. Enjoy a game of pool or free snacks or adult beverages during your service. The Man Cave is now open next to Lighting by Design on Fire Tower Road in Greenville.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water-soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2020 Buick Enclave and save over $9,500 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. How can you help people with back pain?
Well, most people are going to have back pain at some point during their life, but you don't have to live with it. A bad MRI or a bad x-ray does not mean you're destined to always have pain. We have specialists that are well trained to find out what the true problem is and the true source of your pain so they can get you on track to feeling better. So don't suffer with back pain. Our nationally board certified specialists are here to help you. To learn more, visit us at kptonline.com. We can help you live well, move more, and hurt less.
We're midway through bath time, and 2 medium 2-topping Domino's pizzas for $5.99 each have begun their drive to the Smith's front door. That's a GPS-enabled custom delivery alert, folks. The newest improvement to the Domino's tracker, saying Domino's will be there in 2 minutes. They're calling it audible. Bath time's now rinse time. They've got 1 kid dry, 2 kids dry. The pizzas are here. They made it to the door. The kids are clean enough. The new Domino's tracker with GPS worked again.
2-item minimum. Pan pizza will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You could also be eligible for a full tuition scholarship. Lead the team that makes a difference. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson, DAL, at ECU.edu. Paid for by the United States Army.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Atlantic Wireless is your local authorized U.S. cellular agent and now offers curbside service and free home delivery. In addition to phone service, Atlantic Wireless has a great selection of tablets and now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Welcome back into Pirate Radio Live. Clip Rock here, and we'll give Mike Mullis his official introduction. What's up, Mully?
Hey, buddy.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to be here.
Thanks for coming by. Talk a little sports here on a Tuesday. ECU setting up for a late night, Friday night football game with Tulsa. How much you planning to watch of that one?
It'll be the only show in town, largely. So, I would probably watch whoever's playing. Obviously, with East Carolina playing, I'll be pretty locked in.
Pretty locked in?
Yeah, okay. Depends on how it goes.
Right. If it gets away,
then I'll be pretty locked out.
That's the way it goes.
Game.
Hey,
look, I've heard some of the breakdown this week, different guests, I guess, BMOC, whatever. He was kind of harsh yesterday, but,
Tulsa a 17.5-point favorite right now.
Yeah, and he was thinking it's like a, what do you say, like 42-14 kind of 53-17 kind of game.
Yeah.
I think is kind of where he was going. But, you know,
You think it's going to be more competitive?
I hope it is. I think so. You know, he made another comment about it not really mattering who the quarterback was, and I didn't think that was very fair. I think it's always an advantage when you have an upperclassman that understands your offense, number one. Number two, you know, I think Holton's probably coming back with a little, burn his saddle or whatever you want to use. And I mean, the kid plays hard and competes all the time. I think you're probably going to see a little more of a grudge effort coming out this week.
And hoping we see more of what we saw in the South Florida game rather than the Georgia State game, right, when the offense could not put together a touchdown. South Florida, they were running, they were throwing, they were doing whatever they wanted to, really, offensively, and that's what we want to see Friday.
And I think another equalizer there is that, you know, now the establishment of the running game is going to help to keep Holton off his back as much. You know, he's not going to have to drop back and try to, you know, get big yardage through throwing the football. So, I mean, you know, I think it'll be interesting. And again, I think as a program, and I would imagine that all the coaches over there would tell you this is another one of those games they would love to win, but at the very least they come out with a better idea of where their personnel is as they plan what the future looks like for the program.
Mike Mullis is here. That running back that is putting up those big numbers is Shirley. What is his name again? Molly, do you know his name?
Rajay.
Oh, is he right, Shirley?
No, it's not Raji, Raja, or Raja. It's Rajay.
Boom.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
You knew it all along.
I did. Never had a question.
All right, Mullet. Let's see. Game 6 tonight. World Series, Dodgers-Rays. How about that display? Was it Game 4 that ended so wild?
It was. You know, I mean, look,
when you watch that as a former player, but more importantly, a guy that's coached your whole life,
the cringe is in center field. You know, that ball's got to be come up with clean. That run's going to score either way. There's no play there, all they had to see was the bobble and a Rosarena, and then the turf monster gets him, halfway to home. And I thought the catcher's effort, Will Smith had no choice but to try a swipe tag. So, I mean, it was, people always should have been 2 errors. He didn't know that Arena's down, or Rosarena, or, he didn't know the sniper got him. So he's trying to make a play on a guy he thinks is obviously going to score the walk-off.
Yeah.
So
I saw a point, too, on social media. I wish I remember who said it. Maybe it wasn't a big deal, but I'll get your take on it. The pitcher, who was pitching? Was it Jansen or was it
Kidley Jansen?
So
he was giving up soft contact. He was doing his job. He's just got terrible luck right now.
Ball was hit. He immediately goes down into a crouch position like, oh, man, I gave up a hit. They're going to score. And did not do his job, which at that point would go to back up the catcher, right? That's what every pitcher is supposed to do in that scenario.
Well, he would probably pick a spot between the bags so he could go either way, depending on where the play was. So,
okay.
But you know what I mean? He
right. So not necessarily to back up the catcher in that case. Maybe he'd be
kind of in between. Maybe they try to have, maybe there's a play at third. And I don't remember it specifically enough to know where the base runners were. But he would kind of work himself in a position where he could kind of work multiple angles.
Okay. And the point that person was trying to make was if he was behind the catcher, perhaps he could have got the ball, got it to.
The other thought is he may have been thinking, I need to get out of the way because there may be a play at the plate. And so the last thing you would want is a 6'6" dude running through your line of sight as you're trying to make a play. I mean, I didn't see that, his reaction, so I don't know. I would think that would be the only excusable thing, if you will. I don't know that it makes a difference.
Right.
But, let's face it, he is carrying the weight of the world every time he goes on the mound, and I'm sure it is, again, he's getting soft contact, he's getting what, people are just kind of beating the shift through, hitting Texas leaguers. So that ball was hit pretty firmly to center, but it was one of those deals where I'm sure it was painful, like, here we go again kind of thing. And I think, this is the storyline that we've kind of talked about, and I made the comment about, the Dodgers can hit a little bit and the Rays, they can pitch a little bit. And what you're seeing now is the back end of that bull, or not even the back end, that bullpen, and Kenley Jansen, the guy that they really counted on going into the season, hasn't been what they need that to be. So I think what you may get tonight, you could see Kershaw out of the pen. Of course, we've seen that before in the postseason, and it didn't work
tonight,
out.
Game 6.
You know, it's a chance to clinch. So if
are
there's
both teams playing as if it's Game 7, then you think?
They got to. They're playing for their lives.
Yeah,
they're playing for their lives, and so I think the Dodgers obviously have a little more cushion. They would like to close this thing out, because you're looking at tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know where you would go projected starters for tomorrow night. I mean, it's kind of a Johnny Holstaff thing.
And Blake Snell goes tonight. Just looking back at Game 2, because we had the same starting matchup. Blake Snell, 4 2/3, gave up 2 earned runs, 2 hits. And Gonsolin pitching for the Dodgers. He's starting tonight, 1 1/3, 1 run, 1 hit. Like, how many innings do these guys go tonight?
As many as they can give you. I mean, this is one of those things where nothing. I don't think no holds are barred, and I think you're a little more patient if you're the Dodgers, knowing that your bullpen is what it is. So I think you kind of, if it gets away early, if you have that same type of outing again early, you may still ride with him to try to get to save 2 or 3 innings from the bullpen. Because they're just not very good down there. I think the Rays have they clearly have a lot more flexibility in what they can do with their pitching staff. So, I mean, it'll be interesting. The other interesting play to me, and I thought you would bring this one up right off the bat, was the steal of home.
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, I think had he been called safe, there wasn't enough to overturn it. And the fact that he was called out, there wasn't enough to overturn it. It was as bang as it gets. I question the timing a little bit. Left on left, you got Kiermaier's their second best hitter. You got there's no traffic for the catcher. There's nobody in the right hand batter's box. So, but it was close, and the Dodgers did a fantastic job of playing that. As far as the read coming in, Kershaw steps off, delivers the ball, and obviously ultimately got the out.
Malcolm Gray tuned in.
Wow.
He loves the baseball. Where has Joe Kelly been for the Dodgers?
It's a great question. It's a great question. And we've seen him, what have we seen him, one time?
He pitched in Game 2.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And I think that is in a microcosm. That's what the Dodgers are seeing, is that these guys going into the year that they thought they were absolutely going to be able to count on are they're just a non-factor.
What do you think about tonight? Rays extend it?
Man, I hope so.
Yeah. Let's get one more, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is as hard a series to call or to predict. I mean, because I think I even said on the air, I didn't know if it'd go 5. I mean, I thought there'd be a win. I thought maybe 5, and then after Game 1, I'm like, man, this thing may go 8. This thing may never end. It's. The other thing is, when you're looking at the Rays, although we saw what we saw of them this year, we knew the numbers were there and whatever, you still don't know anybody.
Yeah.
So it's like, Randy Rosario.
I really don't know Randy, even though I know Randy.
And that dude has come up and look at what he's done, given the opportunity. I mean, it's crazy. He set records that have never been touched. Good for him. And, his story is pretty good. And, the way he got to the United States and everything he went through to become a big leaguer. So, good on him. He's definitely taking advantage. And, every coach preaches all the way down their bench and through, whatever type of organization they're managing, be ready for your opportunity, because you just don't know when it might come up.
Mike Mullis here talking some baseball. We'll talk a little football with Mully as well. There are 2, 3, 5, 6 5-win teams in the NFC, Mully. Your Packers are one of them. Now, they are a half game up on the Bears. It feels like they're 3 games up.
Yeah, poor Bears. I mean, what are they, 5-2? Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. It's how, literally, it's how did they get to 5-2?
They have the third least behind Washington and the Giants points in the NFC.
Yeah, when the comment was made last night, it's embarrassing when your defense outscores your offense. And that's what you got there. And look, it's not like we hadn't seen this before with the Bears, maybe not at this magnitude.
That's kind of been their MO my entire life.
But the monsters of the Midway does not conjure up a great offensive team.
Correct.
So I mean, we have seen this, but it's anemic. I think Nick Foles, I don't know if I feel better for him or worse for Trubisky.
Yeah.
It's kind of Trubisky's just sitting over there going, man. I mean, I could do that. Well, and he was what 3-0. Trubisky when they made the change,
2.5-0,
something like that. Yeah, I mean, maybe the game he started they ended up winning, but yeah. But yeah, it's of course that was a huge comeback for Foles, and Foles just has that aura about him where he's
better out of the bullpen than he is a starter.
And people like him, and it's kind of like they said, in Philly, they just play for him, and it's crazy. I mean, but I don't know. The Bears their offense is an absolute pill of fight, and it's just I don't know. It's really really weird to watch him play.
How about those two infielders on Sunday night slinging it around, Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray? I like that trend of middle infielders becoming quarterbacks. Kyler Murray is my favorite guy to watch this year. I love him running around.
He's good. That's the thing is, you say slinging around. I think he threw for like 198 or something like that. He had a decent night, and he doesn't put up a ton of passing numbers.
Hopkins does lead the league in receiving yards,
and it's after the catch.
True.
I mean, and he is incredible. But it's I don't. I like watching him play. He's just it's almost like he's playing the college game.
Yeah,
like it feels like it's more of a.
Well, who's his coach?
That's exactly right. Yeah, Kingsbury. So, it is kind of cool, and we're seeing that, that trend more and more, and Pat Mahomes, and obviously or Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry, I hope his mom isn't listening, but back to the ties with baseball and everything else. So, it's cool to watch these guys. They're unbelievable athletes.
I'm ready to see a new QB on Sunday, and Shirley's been calling for it. Tua will get the ball when the Dolphins take on the Rams on Sunday. What do you think about Tua in the NFL?
Well, we talked about it a little bit last week when I was here, and I think it was announced that day. Good for Tua. I wish him the best, but I hope they lose. I'm sorry, Shirley. I mean, I just Fitz, man, and then Fitz comes out with that press conference. It's like, dude, I want to give that guy a hug or buy him a beer or something, man. He's like, man, for a NFL quarterback.
Oh, that's right. We did talk about it because we said he's an all-time competitor and all-time teammate.
Right?
How would he handle it? He handled it
much better before until the next day. Until they actually had a chance to get quotes from him.
Yeah,
he was when an NFL quarterback used the term, I was heartbroken. Dude, that's like you said, it's like his dog died or girlfriend broke up with him.
He said, I was basically in a Zoom call with the guy that fired me and the guy that took my job for 3 hours. He said it was miserable. So
yeah, it is beyond uncomfortable. That Zoom call would be, and I would think, and like I don't know Fitzy at all, but what I see, I got to think he's still in there cheering. I got to think he's still in there doing all he can to make the team better. But with a little bit of like, man, seriously, really?
Yeah.
I told Shirley the day that the news broke that Tua would get the start that it was a tale of 2 days. On Sunday when they put Tua in the game, they show Fitz on the sideline. He's like pumping up the crowd, like, "Let's go, yeah!" And then the next day he's like, "Oh man," because he probably wasn't expecting that 2 completions for 9 yards was going to give him the starting job.
Especially after 2 wins in a row and your team's kind of on the right track.
They're playing good.
Yeah.
I mean, the bigger question is, after this weekend, does Fitzy dress again for the Dolphins? Do we see him in another uniform going into the next week?
Because usually when you make that move, you can't pull it back. When you bench the starter, he's benched. Like Trubisky's out, Dwayne Haskins is out.
Yeah, the toothpaste is out of the tube. I mean, it's already, it's that's already downstream.
Well, one of these teams has got to go try to get Fitzpatrick, or I think better yet, get Jameis, and let's have some fun. Let's throw some picks. Let's throw some touchdowns. Like Dallas could start one of them Sunday,
and I don't think
and be a major upgrade.
I don't think Jameis would be one that would hit the market.
Why?
I just think there's some down the road plans for him. I don't, it's
in New Orleans.
Well, Drew Brees ain't gonna live forever.
Yeah, they got that.
And Taysom Hill is not gonna be an everyday NFL quarterback.
Well, we'll see.
But I mean, that could be interesting. Obviously the Kaepernick thing's been thrown around about going to Dallas. That would be absolutely hilarious. That would be. I mean, think about the Cowboy fan base and the guys that we know that are Cowboy fans, and think about that transaction happening. That would be great.
But surely Jerry Jones wants those days back. And could a new quarterback help him?
I want me some glory hole.
He wants some glory hole, Mullis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Jerry, that's profound. maybe he should hook up with Bob Kraft.
Oh, now.
See what happens.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Now, going back to what you said a while ago, Cliff, about...
Way to change it quick, Chandler.
Let's get out of that conversation quick. But back to what you were saying earlier about the starters and that you can't go back once you pull your starter. The next game that the Patriots play, is Jared Stidham going to be the starting quarterback?
No. Because they yanked him from a game. They didn't. Cam is still the starter, I think.
Okay.
I'm saying
I agree with that.
Once you start a game, once Stidham starts over Cam, that might be it.
Look, and Cam's had a self-revelation. He's and obviously he's stating the obvious.
Yeah.
Everybody in the world can see it. But I don't know, is this a page turner for him too? Is he going to be a guy? Hey, remember that guy? That was so good early on, and what was his name? Cam Newton.
Well, Mully, you said from day one Gardner Minshew is going to be a quarterback in the NFL for a long time.
I did.
And I brought up, like, the McCown, the Fitzpatrick. Like, that could be his mold. He's floating around the league. He's spot starting. Like, I never saw Cam as one of those guys, but...
No, that's not what you... I mean, it was a first-round pick.
That could end up being...
overall pick.
And an MVP.
Yeah. No, Minshew just suits that mold a whole lot more. And, he's kind of carved himself out a pretty good little niche. And, it's if they're playing, you'll watch him.
Exactly.
I mean, he's got that kind of charisma about him, and he's fun to watch along the lines of maybe not McCown, but more like Fitz. Fitz will do some stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not afraid to take a bull head on. I mean, he'll go go in there kind of carelessly, but and you get some of that with Garner, and there's a place in the game for those guys. And we've always said for years there is a tremendous shortage of quarterbacks relative to the number of NFL teams. So sometimes you have to go with the sideshow or do like the Bears and hope that you play really good defense.
Mully, we're up against it. Thanks for hanging out, and you're welcome to stay if you want to keep talking sports.
No, I'm good.
All right. I don't know what that means, but...
thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
No, it was great.
It had to end at some point, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Did you think we were just going to do this all day, no commercial break?
So you're bringing somebody else in?
I am, yeah. You were celebrating Billy Weaver just last week. Now you don't. Now you're upset.
I'm heartbroken. Speaking of one of those Cowboy fans, get his take on Cap.
Well, he's a Washington fan.
Oh, he is a Redskins fan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
We got Kyle Allen. We're good. That guy, he's going places. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. Hour 2, Pirate Radio Live on the way after this.
Hey y'all, it's Lisa with Halloween Express, Greenville's Halloween superstore for 22 years. It's been a crazy year, but Halloween is not canceled. We have everything you need to make this Halloween one to remember. And did someone say mask? Yeah, we have the largest selection of masks in Greenville, plus every other costume you can think of. Come visit our new location in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Halloween Express, what are you going to be?
This is Brandon Tate with Firstborn Food Distribution, and coming up on Saturday, November 21st, we're going to feed 5,000 people. We need two things. One, we need you to help volunteer and help deliver this food. Two, we need your money. It costs over $16,000 to do this, and we need you to step up to the plate with your wallets and your time. To donate or volunteer, please visit pr927fm.com and click on our ad. Firstborn Food Distribution. Come feed your neighbors.
Hidden phone trade-ins, hidden plan requirements, hidden catches. You won't find them at US Cellular because we speak fair. Plus, when you switch right now, you can get the latest phones free. Upgrade to Fair. Upgrade to US Cellular. Requires new postpaid service plan, new line port in, credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional terms apply.
Does the idea of going to your local US Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-styled restaurant and bar. Join us at the Rick House for mouth-watering steaks and the best burgers around. Check out the spicy mahi risotto or the bourbon pecan salmon. Wednesday night is date night. 2 salads, an appetizer, a bottle of wine, 2 entrees, and a dessert for just $55. Thursday is ladies' night with $5 martinis and special apps. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville. The Rick House.
The Frells family lives on a lush piece of land called greener pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at qualityequip.com.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. From sales to service, Greenville Auto World has all your vehicle needs covered. Shop all their inventory now at greenvilleautoworld.net. If you're also looking for someone to service your vehicle, Greenville Auto World has a full service and repair facility. They do brakes, oil changes, tires, inspections, and they can repair any kind of vehicle. Greenville Auto World across from Speedway at Bells Fork and online at greenvilleautoworld.net. Thanks to Tim Sutton and Jim Rogers of Greenville Auto World. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. And clip, this just came out just a moment ago on Twitter. According to ESPN College Football, the University of Florida's football program has 6 new positive COVID tests in the past week. That brings the team's total for the month to 37. The Gators did return to practice, and meetings started on Monday after they took a 2-week hiatus, but there's also 6 additional University of Florida athletes that tested positive as well.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you for that. Also, Chandler just saw about 20 minutes ago Adam Schefter tweeting that the Panthers have released Eli Apple. Is that a big deal?
Yeah, it's shocking news coming out of Charlotte today. You know, the word was today I saw a lot of media members in Charlotte tweet out that he had been at practice and then he was escorted off the field and was returning to the stadium, and a lot of the media members were not sure why. A lot of people thought that maybe it was a recurring hamstring injury that he had sustained earlier in the year. He played on Sunday against the Saints and got pretty good playing time, but the news coming out today that we have released Eli Apple.
And I guess Josh Hawkins will not be taking his place after he was released from the practice squad.
And maybe he would have been if he was smart.
Right. Yeah, well, there you go. All right, let's talk more NFL and some NASCAR right now with WITN Sports Director Billy Weaver, who joins us on the Fixed NC Live Line. Weave, how you doing, man?
Doing good, Cliff. How you guys doing?
We're good, and Billy, I really hoped that I would be able to talk to you while we watch a race today, because Texas was rained out Sunday, rained out Monday. They're still trying to get it in, and I've been following Bob Pockrass, is that how you say his name, the Fox Sports NASCAR reporter, and a constant stream of tweets saying the same thing. 1 minute ago, he tweeted, report of increased mist with some areas of the track getting more damp. So it's just nonstop mist, rain, cold in Texas. And what are they going to do, Billy? Are they going to keep riding this thing out? Because with just 3 races left, they have to get it in, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have much of a choice. And looking at the weather forecast for tonight in Texas and Fort Worth, at 9 o'clock, there's an app that I was looking at, and it shows hour by hour the forecast at the Speedway. And like you had just mentioned, there's mist at the Speedway right now. And looking at the Turn 1 camera, they have that on NASCAR.com. It looks pretty clear. It just looks overcast. The track looks relatively dry. What you can't see on that camera, though, is the mist coming down that you were talking about. And it's supposed to be misty like that up until 9 o'clock, when it's supposed to start to actually rain. And the World Series is being played right now in Texas, and the reason they're closing the roof is because of rain. So I don't know what NASCAR is going to do. We're into Tuesday, and when we had the Tuesday races early in this whole coronavirus deal, where they weren't going far, or they were staying in the southeast, you're all the way out in Texas, and then you got to get all the way back to the East Coast, to Martinsville, Virginia, for Sunday's race. And like you said, there's only 2 more races, actually, including the Texas race, 3 total, 2 after this Texas race that'll end the season. And these are very important races. There's only 8 guys right now left in the championship hunt. The guys want to get it in. I thought it was very interesting that Clint Boyer, who was leading the race when the race was called after 52 laps on Sunday, that he was very vocal about putting rain tires and radials on those cars. And I don't see why that NASCAR doesn't do it. It doesn't make any sense. They did it at Daytona, and they ran radials with, a windshield wiper and, what normal cars have on them, and go out there and race in the rain. And when it stops raining, put the slicks back on. I just don't understand why NASCAR doesn't do this. I think they owe it to the fans, and they have certainly found themselves in quite a predicament here.
John Moody, Pirate Radio listener, big NASCAR fan, just tweeted that NASCAR told teams to be prepared to stay in the Fort Worth area until Thursday. Man, so, they try to get it in tomorrow, and they'll potentially try again Thursday, and I guess that's the last day they can do it, Billy, to get all the cars in Martinsville and ready to go for Sunday. But that is going to be a wild turnaround if it does happen to go Wednesday or Thursday and then Sunday.
Well, it's really not that bad if you think about it. As for the drivers, it's not a problem at all. Those guys get on a plane and they go, and their crews set up everything. It's a hindrance, and it's a real pain in the neck for the crews. But the deal is most of these, 90% of the race teams are based in the Charlotte area in North Carolina. Obviously, those haulers don't go out to Texas. They go out to Texas probably with 2 Texas cars set up for that type of track. So all of their Martinsville cars are back in North Carolina. They have crews back at their shops right now that are working on their Martinsville cars. So it puts a little extra strain on the crews, but it's not impossible. It really isn't. They could stay out there in Texas and race, and Thursday the drivers get on a plane and go back to the shops in North Carolina and then head to Martinsville, and those cars will be ready. So it's not that big of a deal, but it does put a strain on, the crews. And of course, drivers like Clint Boyer and others have been very vocal about saying, okay, let's figure this out, and let's just go ahead and race in the rain and get these radials put on there. And, I think that's the easy solution right there. NASCAR just hasn't adopted that rule.
Billy Weaver joining us, and we've only a NASCAR race on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday prevented me from leading off the conversation with Washington's blowout victory over the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. 25-3, Weave. How sweet was that?
It was. And, Dallas only got that 3 points because of an outstanding kickoff return that put them deep in Washington territory. And if you remember, right after that kick return, the Washington defense went 3 and out. They did their job and held Dallas to a field goal, and that's all they could get going. So it was nice to see Dallas or Washington really put it to Dallas. That was a whole lot of fun to watch. I hated seeing Andy Dalton go out the way he did.
Yeah.
It was a vicious hit. It was, and that's a veteran guy in Bostic that shouldn't make that play. So I hate it. I hate it for anybody, and it doesn't matter if it's a Dallas player or anybody else. I hate to see a guy take a hit like that and have to go out of the game, but it does happen, and it shouldn't have happened in this case. But hey, I love. Aside from that, I love seeing the Washington victory. Nothing better than beating the Cowboys.
And again, right there in the mix for the division title is Washington because you got everybody else playing so bad in that division. And the Eagles-Cowboys will match up, guess what, folks, in primetime coming up this week because America loves to watch the NFC East. That's just a fact. And that continues coming up this week.
I think America loves to see the Dallas Cowboys. There's half of them that want to see them win, and then the other half, like us, that tune in just to see them lose. So yeah, everybody. And you know what? This is the Dallas Cowboys team that could be and probably should be 0-7 instead of 2-5. There's no way they should have lost either one of those games that they won.
The Falcons game, yeah. What was the other one?
The Giants were out 20 points on them.
Okay, yeah.
The Giants were up big, and then the Giants just laid an egg late in that game. What a terrible division. What's funny about this whole thing is, as bad as, and all the national media just saying it's a train wreck in Dallas, it's terrible. They're talking about already getting rid of Mike McCarthy because he's not the right fit, blah, 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 and all this. With all that being said, they're still in the hunt for a division title.
Yeah.
Which is the funny part.
And Jerry Jones, Shirley, I think we got to. He's ready for those glory days.
I want me some glory hole.
He wants him some glory hole, Billy, and maybe.
Oh man.
Maybe he'll get it at some point. All right, looking around the league, the Panthers fall. Great game on Sunday with the Saints. They end up losing that one, and they're coming back down to earth a little bit after 2 straight losses, but still a very competitive team, and week in, week out, seems like they're playing close games, Weave, and just couldn't get it done against the Saints. Who they got this week, Chandler? As I look, okay, Falcons on Thursday Night Football. That's right, yeah. And as we continue to look at tweets and what's coming out of Charlotte, Christian McCaffrey getting close to returning to action, Weave.
Yeah, that's actually going to be my lead story on the Sportscast tonight at 6 o'clock. Talked about it a little bit last night, showed some video of him at practice yesterday. He had, one of the red no-contact jerseys on and just warmed up. He didn't do any kind of physical activity as far as running plays or anything like that. He was just kind of out there being seen. And I had reported last night it was very unlikely that he'll play against Atlanta on Thursday. More likely that he'd be back for Week 9 when they play the Packers, I think it is. But now it's coming out today is that Matt Rule is saying there's a possibility that they could have Christian McCaffrey back for Thursday night.
Yeah.
And to be completely honest with you, that doesn't surprise me because this high ankle sprain, typically it's a 4 to 6 week injury. You're out 4 to 6 weeks. Christian McCaffrey, we know what kind of physical specimen he is. We know what kind of work ethic he has. And he said when this happened in week 2, he said, I'm going to get back sooner than people think. It's not going to be 4 to 6 weeks. Well, it's looking like about the 4 week range. Because this is week 6, so 5 weeks or whatever. But so it wouldn't surprise me to see him back on the field. But that remains to be seen. If you're the Panthers right now, I think you're very cautious in that. Obviously they want your all-pro running back on the field, but you don't want to push it. and put him out there before he's ready.
Yeah, and an interesting call, I will say, and Chandler, this is a huge game, an opportunity to sweep the Falcons, a chance to win a division game. You're probably not going to beat the Chiefs at Kansas City the following week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the Chiefs, not the Packers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they do have the Packers later in the year, but they got the Chiefs, and then so get back to 500. You're probably lose to the Chiefs, one game under 500, but then you got to stretch Bucks at home, Lions at home, at Minnesota, Broncos at home. Bucks are tough, but the other three very winnable. So this is a very important game for the Panthers on Thursday night.
Yeah, it is, and they've beaten the Falcons once without Christian McCaffrey. So, like I said, you don't want to force him back before he's ready. And we don't know what kind of physical shape he's in right now, and what kind of physical activities and what kind of away from practice type stuff that he's been doing with trainers and things like that. So we could be very surprised. And you know what? I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if Matt Rule's being very, cavalier about this thing and kind of keeping things under wraps until, today and tomorrow, once you get closer to the game, to kind of show his hand. In the NFL, you want to keep everything, especially injury-wise, with such a star player. You want to keep those things under wraps as long as you can. But it'd be interesting to see if he plays on Thursday night.
Billy Weaver joining us. Weave, you prepared for a late Friday night of Pirate football coming up?
Oh, yeah. Had a few of those before. 9:00 start in Tulsa. I think I mentioned this last week with you guys that I remember the UTEP game at 9:00 back in El Paso, Texas. That's about as far away as you can go and stay in the United States. As a matter of fact, cool thing about El Paso and the Sun Bowl is I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the only stadium in the United States where you can sit in the stadium and actually see another country. That's how close they are to the border of Mexico and Juarez right there. So really cool place there. But I remember getting back at, I think, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It's a brutal trip, but it always makes it much better if you win, which ECU was able to do that against UTEP some years ago in that game. But this one's going to be a tall task. Tulsa's a very good team. Oklahoma State, they played them very well. I think it was 16-7, and at the time they were a top 15 team. And of course, Central Florida is a team they knocked off on the road. So that's a big victory for them. And had that Arkansas State game not been postponed, this is a team that should be 3-1 right now with a close loss to a national powerhouse team in Oklahoma State. So it's a very good team, Tulsa. And, there's a reason East Carolina's an 18-point underdog right now.
Billy, that game, and I'm glad I looked it up. I was going to be wrong. Dwayne Harris had 2 catches for 30 yards, but most importantly, had a rushing touchdown, 2 rushes, 66 yards, along with 57, a touchdown, and a passing touchdown, 1 for 1, 80 yards to Jamar Bryant. I thought he had a rushing, receiving, and passing touchdown, but it was only passing and rushing. He did the tough ones, didn't get the receiving touchdown.
Are you talking about the UTEP game?
Yeah, the UTEP game in 07.
Wasn't Rob Cass the quarterback in that game?
Yeah, he threw the missile Hail Mary at the end of regulation.
Yeah.
Rob Cass, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, but the touchdown really mattered.
Yeah.
Chris Johnson, 100-yard game. That was a wild one, Weave. I don't know how long. I wish I could wonder if that's somewhere, how long this game lasted that you were up calling that night. But
well, you know what? To be completely honest with you, during at the start of this pandemic, when everything kind of shut down and we just didn't have any sports whatsoever, I know that the ECU athletic department had put up games on their website, like replays of games. I think that UTEP game was one of those, because I seem to remember coming across that game on the internet that ECU had put up. So it's out there somewhere. I'd love to go back and look at that. That's the fun thing, is going back and looking at some of those old games and, bringing up some of the memories of guys past and stuff. And so, some of those names, like the Jamar Bryant's, guys like that, you don't think about until you bring the names up again. You're like, oh, yeah, I remember that guy, and Andre Allison, There's been some very talented players at ECU over the years.
We did a lot of that ourselves here at Pirate Radio, Billy, watching old games while there was no live games going on. So very blessed to have all the sports in our lives right now. I'll take another game like that this Friday. The teams combined for almost 1,100 yards and 7 turnovers. That was a fun game. We'll see if that happens again on Friday. All right, Weave, thanks for joining us, man. I'll check one more time before we let you go. The words I always chuckle at when I see somebody at a NASCAR track, we've lost the track. That's what they're saying. The front stretch is wet. We lost what we had on the back, so we just sit and wait for this race in Texas to actually be ran.
Yeah, it always amazes me when you see the jet dryers out there and they get the entire track dry, and then within 2 minutes you get a quick rain shower and they're right back to stage one again. Sometimes I wonder how much money, and I guess I'm not an expert on this by any means, but I mean, is it jet fuel that they use for those jet dryers? Because they seem like kind of jet engines, right? I mean, I would imagine those things are kind of costly to run. They go slow around the track and they put off a lot of heat and air. So I wonder how much it costs to run those jet dryers, and especially when you're doing it for 3 days straight.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Weave. Well, hopefully we'll have 2 NASCAR results to talk about when we talk to you Tuesday. Also, Weave, are you going to be a part of our special press box coming up later this week?
I am.
Awesome.
It's going to be Thursday afternoon, right?
Yeah. Well, it'll be airing Friday, so it'll be live Friday, everyone. Live on Friday.
Oh, sorry. Did I give something away there?
No, it's fine.
We got to talk about these things ahead of time.
Yep, you're right. We never talk ahead of time. We just shoot off the cuff. We'll see you then, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man.
Later. Billy Weaver joining us on the on Pirate Radio Live today, Tuesday edition. Stephen Igoe will be joining us next here on Pirate Radio Live as we'll continue to get you set for ECU Tulsa and look around everything else going on in the world of sports. We're back with you on a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. For Greenville Auto World, cross some Hardee's at Bells Fork.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Welcome to Jack Brown's. What can I get for you?
You guys got chicken strips?
Nah, we don't have those.
Can I get a salad?
No, we don't carry salads, ma'am.
Well, what do you have?
We are glad you asked. This ain't no regular degular. This is American Wagyu beef.
These ain't your Uncle Timmy's charcoal bricks.
Kiss the cook, kiss my grits. Our burgers are 4 ounces of hand-pressed, made-to-order, perfectly seasoned ecstasy in a potato roll.
4 ounces not big enough for you, big man? Double patty time!
Or just grab a cheeseburger.
Jack Brown's, 805 Dickinson Avenue, Greenville.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Your office deserves a proactive tech support approach instead of always reacting to issues after the damage is done. You need BizCare. BizCare tech support and cybersecurity plans keep you ahead of potential issues and much safer from cyber threats like ransomware. What's at your office? Call William today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com.
It's bow time. You've heard folks say, don't call it a comeback. But the Pork Chop Griller is back at Bojangles, and we don't like to beat around the bush. Because we're talking about a huge, hefty pork chop in all its tender, marinated chili lime glory, served up proud in a fluffy buttermilk biscuit. So we say go ahead, call it a comeback. Pork Chop Grillers are back, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. PRL this afternoon is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday, getting you ready for a Friday nighter, ECU and Tulsa. We'll talk some Pirate basketball with our next guest as well, Stephen Igoe, because we have a question from Johnny on our Facebook Live. You can chime in with a question or comment there, or on Twitter. Oh, yes. The homeless dressing blonde kid is here.
Yes, indeed.
Faded jeans.
Yeah, faded jeans. These are like 10 years old. This Bronco shirt legitimately is probably like 10 years old. In fact,
your shirt is peeling.
The shirt, yeah, the letters are starting to peel. The Broncos, by the way, as much as I love them, they have horrible apparel.
So do the Redskins.
I don't know if it's the orange or what, but they just don't have any good. That's why I wear so much Mariner stuff, because I love their colors, even though they stink too. But this is one of the few Bronco shirts I actually like.
Yeah. So if you could help out,
if you
the
want
homeless
to
dressing blonde kid,
a Bronco shirt, that'd be great. We did have somebody donate a King Griffey Jr.
That's right,
jersey to me.
Yeah,
which was awesome.
So if you want to get a Jerry Judy jersey,
that would be great.
He'd accept. I tell you what, Igoe, let's start with this basketball question.
Let's do that.
It's a long one from Johnny. What are Steven's thoughts on Chance White?
Chancellor White.
Kid's length is unreal. Unprecedented, us getting a commit a class ahead. Hoping we can pull Dre back into the fold. Appears to be a baby Josh Hall. Just getting going in his development.
Well, I think he hits on a number of good points there. In regards to Chancellor White, he's talking about he's a class of 2022 kid. So ECU, of course, has a handful of 2021 commits, 3 to be exact now after Dre Watson decommitted. But to go ahead and get a 2022 kid from Texas, by the way, pretty unexpected. Sounds like he just wanted to make the decision early, and of course we'll see if he ends up sticking with his commitment. Houston was in there with an offer early, and maybe he gets more as well. But pretty impressive that Steve Rockefort was able to lock him down. I think he's a guy, he averaged 15, 16 points his first 2 years of varsity basketball, so he's just going in his junior year. His coach is high on him. Seems to be a great kid who just kind of wanted to get it out of the way. We'll see what happens there, but I really like his upside long term. He can shoot, he can score. Dre Watson, we'll see what happens. He told me that he is still going to consider ECU, but he's got some big schools calling. If I'm ECU, I'm trying to continue to recruit Dre just in case, but also, have some backup plans, which I'm sure Joe Dooley is doing. They got plenty of other offers out to some power forward types that they could get in the fold. But the class, even without Dre, is really good. With Dre, I thought it was great, and hopefully they can find somebody, either him back or get somebody close to his talent level back.
And if you have a good center, you obviously take them, but they're set at center for years. There should be, right?
Yeah,
what's on the roster right now?
With those 7-footers, they've got 4. That's Kwanzaa will be here for 4 to 5 years. Coleman's got 3 more years left. Luster and Luigi, I think, Luigi's got 2. Luster has 1, and they all get an extra year too. So, they're pretty set at the true center position. I don't think they really need anybody there. If you can get like a power forward who's kind of agile, athletic, I think you take that, which is what Watson was.
All right. Anything else on hoops, Igoe? We're getting close to, we're less than a month away.
Yeah.
Hopefully, from basketball starting. Now, it came out yesterday that ESPN was not going to have all those tournaments down in one area in Orlando, down there in Florida. And I'm trying to find that headline
esports.
Right now. Horse racing, esports, NCAA. Let's see. Where is that story?
Come on.
ESPN nixes plans to host 8 men's college basketball events in Orlando bubble. Those would include the Champions Classic, Charleston Classic, Myrtle Beach Invitational, NIT season tip-off, Wooden Legacy, Orlando Invitational, Jimmy V Classic, and Diamond Head Classic. A lot of the tournaments you see during Feast Week, Thanksgiving week, on ESPN. Now, I don't think that necessarily means these tournaments are gone. Maybe they will be hosted somewhere else, but ECU's tournament is still on, although Joe Dooley, I believe, had talked about teams dropping from that. So it's still uncertain as we sit here a month away, right?
Yeah, I heard John Gilbert on the radio the other day say he was asked the question, is Joe Dooley close to knowing his basketball schedule yet? He said no. So, and we sit here, less than a month. So, yeah. I think they're hoping to finalize it within the next 2 weeks. So.
Their first game's supposed to be November 25th, correct?
Yes,
that's
November 25th is when the tournament will start. And that
day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that would go November 25th through the 27th. Then you would come home, play 4. The plan is to play that tournament, get 3 games in, then come home, play 4 home non-conference games. That gives you 7 non-conference games, and you get 20 conference games for a 27-game schedule.
And league games start in December, right? Did you say they're going to play 2, I think, or something like that?
Yes, league games start in December. I think they might play as many as 4 in December. I'm not 100% sure, but that's something they're still waiting on, too, is the exact dates for when the AAC starts, so they can kind of schedule everything else. So it's still in flux. I get asked about the schedule every day. I'm sure the coaching staff and everybody over there gets asked about it every day. But until the Florida tournament is 100% finalized and these contracts are finalized, we're not going to hear anything. So it'll probably it could be mid-November, 10 days before tip-off, before we get a schedule with the way things are going.
Look at this. I hadn't read this, Igoe. An AAC preview on ESPN.com. Have you looked at this?
Yeah, it's got one word about East Carolina.
Oh, really? Well, one of the writers does have Jaden Gardner winning Player of the Year this year.
And that is the only word that's written.
Out of this whole thing?
Yeah, well, there is a prediction. They actually pick ECU to finish 8th out of 11, but there's nothing on ECU.
A lot on Greg Marshall, obviously.
Which, by the way, is Wichita State just going to ignore this deal and not address it?
Yeah.
It's just kind of crazy.
He came out with a statement. Everything's fine.
Yeah, nothing like coming out with a statement.
As they, so there's the order of finish. Wow, ECU ahead of UCF, Temple, and Tulane. You're really going to finish ahead of Temple?
Temple's, they lost a lot. I'm not sold on Temple.
Houston picked to win it, along with Memphis, Cincinnati. SMU is back.
Are they?
According to this.
Well, everybody has Wichita State penciled in at 5th. I think
how many players did they lose?
Like everybody.
Yeah.
Now, they brought in some quality transfers, but with all that crap going on, I just don't see how you can want to play for a head coach like that. I mean, we'll see, what comes out with the review and all, but
is Ron Hunter making any projections about walking on water? Because they are picked last by everybody. Tulane is.
They lost basically they took all those transfers last year and did a really good non-conference, and then once they started conference play, they struggled, and a lot of those transfers are gone now.
So
because they took a lot of grad guys.
How do you look at it, Igoe? And we'll finish our basketball talk, move on to football in a moment. But is it top heavy? I mean, Memphis had such a disappointing year last year, right? They were supposed to be a lot better. Wiseman didn't play. Precious is a stud. He's gone, right?
Achua, yeah, he's gone. But they got most of those guys back. I think Achua and
they got High Shorts back.
Oh yes, I can't think of his name.
Me neither. I called him.
Just call him Boxers.
French Vanilla Thighs. He's got the highest shorts known to man. Boxers is returning from Memphis. So like top heavy, like Cincinnati, SMU, are they in with Houston, Memphis? What are the tiers here?
I look at it more like Houston, Memphis are one tier. Cincinnati lost Cumberland and Trey Scott, who are two really good players. I look at it as Houston, Memphis, then Cincinnati, SMU, and Wichita. Tulsa, South Florida is sneaky good because they got everybody back and Yetna coming back from injury.
Oh, yeah.
Which a lot of people forgot.
Got some talent.
I mean, that would basically be like ECU losing Jaden Gardner.
Yeah.
And having to play a season. They have Dave College return. I guess they do lose LaQuincy Rideau. I can't say his name.
Yeah.
But they got a really good guy coming in, a top 100 recruit coming in too. So,
it does kind of seem like 6 through 11 could go a lot of different ways.
6 through 11. Like ECU, I could see them finishing as high as 6.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Now, will I predict it?
Yes.
SMU has a ton.
Oh, I can't wait till the schedule comes out so we can do our win-losses.
Oh,
like we do every year.
I am not picking ECU to go 5-2 non-conference.
Yes, you are. You're going to look at the games. You're going to be like, all right, this is it. We're going to have so many revenge games.
We should replay last year's.
That was awesome. Maybe we'll do that. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk some Pirate football and more with Stephen Igoe from HTC. That's on the way on Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Banking is banking until service is not the same. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust, and this year has been unusual, but we have continued to focus on what has always been important to us, our customers. When businesses needed access to the Paycheck Protection Program, our team of local bankers worked around the clock to successfully keep our customers open and their employees working. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? We are Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
It's time to get back in the saddle with Rocking Horse Ranch. Join us Saturday, November 14th for an evening filled with games and prizes to support the reopening of the Rocking Horse Ranch Therapeutic Riding Program. Rocking Horse Ranch provides a fun and unique therapy program to our special needs, cancer, and veterans community. The horses miss their favorite students and can't wait to see them again soon. And Rocking Horse cannot do this without you. Join us November 14th to get back in the saddle or visit rhrnc.com for more information.
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
The fun place to dine out with friends and family is Familia. Familia has something for everyone and offers favorites like New York-style pizza, lasagna, homemade meatballs, plus new specials like chicken parm alfredo, mahi fish and chips, chicken piccata, veggie burger, butternut squash ravioli, and more. If you need food to go, Familia's drive-thru window is open and ready for all takeout orders. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
This is Big John Williams, strength and conditioning coach for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 27 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville next to Sam's Club, or visit QualityEquip.com to find the location near you. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Good basketball discussion. I'm kind of excited for some hoops, Igoe.
Yeah,
Until I'm not.
We do this every year. Now, it's not quite... Last year, we drove the hype train for ECU basketball.
Yeah.
100% from July on to November. And it came screeching, crashing, just to an absolute halt, especially down in that tournament they played in where they lost to...
Well, they beat
Kansas.
Evansville.
Yeah, they beat Evansville.
They lost to the Roos.
They lost to the Roos and then Rice.
Yeah.
And that's when I jumped off the bandwagon.
What was the order of events there?
I think they...
No. It came off the rails before that when they lost to Coppin State.
No, I think Coppin State was after the tournament.
Okay,
the Navy game was when we all got worried.
Which, by the way, that was BS because you don't play Navy in the Veterans Classic. Like,
somebody's playing them this year, and I guarantee you they'll win.
They support the troops. They're going to call all the fouls on the opposing team, on the Pirates, of course. And so that went wrong. That's when I got a little concerned. And so they beat Evansville shortly after Evansville beat Kentucky, right? Mm-hmm. Is that who Evansville beat?
Yes. I want to say they opened the tournament with Evansville.
On the Friday.
And then they lost to Kansas City, and then they lost to Rice.
I don't know why we're recapping the entire ECU basketball season, but trying to figure out when it all went down.
They played Liberty very early and got smoked, which Liberty was legit.
My favorite player, that the big dude.
The giant 6'6" guy who played like a guard.
That guy was awesome. So, lost to Navy, lost at App State.
Yeah, it was another disappointing game.
Lost to Liberty, beat Evansville. And then, really, I mean, the Coppin State, you're right, they had 1 million losses by then. So
that was the one that dropped them to 2-7, and that was the game where Joe Dooley was like legit mad after the game.
But then Cliff Brock filled in for Morgan Ehlers on PA, and the Pirates took that and were able to use that to knock off Campbell to turn the season around.
Didn't they get back to 8-7 at one point, or 8-8 when they beat South Florida? And SMU, that's right.
At Wichita State.
Cliff
Godwin was there, fired up, on the bench practically. Well,
that was the weirdest thing. I was watching that game, like, why in the world is Cliff Godwin right behind Joe Dooley?
In the huddle.
And he is, like, clapping up a storm. I mean, that was the most entertaining thing I've seen.
That stretch right there was fun as hell.
Yes.
Almost beat Wichita State. You're excited about that. Then you come back, you knock off South Florida, and then that was the
Tristan
Newton 3 in the corner to win the game against SMU. And then everybody packs the house in Minges to see them play Tulsa, and neither team can score, and Tulsa scores more than ECU. That was a brutal game.
Tyree Jackson, like 0 for 10 for 3-point range.
Tied at halftime, 30-30, and it all goes downhill. And Pig
0 for 12. Oh,
Pig.
But he did go 2 for 2 from the line.
Pig. Jaden Gardner.
And that ruined his season. He was playing so good until that game.
Yeah.
And he could never really fully recover.
But we both agree, and I think we all do, that ECU would have won the conference tournament had they played.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think they drew Memphis, and then if they would have won that, they would have played either Houston or Cincinnati. So
Easy.
I mean,
easy.
2-0, and maybe you get tripped up by like Wichita or somebody in the finals.
Yeah. All right, on to...
It is a football game week, right?
It is, and it's coming up Friday. We're going to talk to you a lot about that, though. We got you Thursday and Friday. So I like mixing in a little hoops talk.
Come in Friday.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll talk to Ronnie.
Because Friday is technically a Saturday.
Correct. So today...
is a Wednesday.
Yeah, we should be doing trivia tonight.
I shouldn't be here. I should have been here yesterday. You guys should have been here on Sunday. Live broadcasting the Redskins and Cowboys.
That would have been fun.
I would have loved the Facebook Live watch of you and Bailey watching the Cowboys Redskins.
We have watched a few games together. And there's been some great ones we watched together. We watched the Cowboys doink at the end and Washington wins. We watched Deshaun Jackson fumbles the punt return.
Oh, yeah.
Dallas scores. And then Jackson scores a touchdown to send it to overtime, and then Dallas won. We watched some good ones together. We did not watch it on Sunday together, however.
It wasn't really a good one.
Neither was your game.
So here's the most amazing thing I've ever heard. The Broncos limited the Chiefs to 0 of 8 on third downs, and they lost 43-16. Like, how do you do that? How do you keep a team from converting a third down for the entire game, and you lose 43-16? Well, you give up a pick six, a kick return for a touchdown, 4 turnovers, and I don't think the Chiefs are the type of team that you need to really help. But it was a terrible game.
I had Travis Kelce over 69.5 receiving yards.
They didn't need to do anything.
I know. Every time, like, they always had it in great field position, or the Broncos had the ball doing nothing.
I mean, even when the Chiefs, they would get it off a turnover at the 40 and just go 3 and out. Like, the Broncos have held... But Vic Fangio's defense has held Mahomes to like 2 of his 3 all-time worst games, but they still lost by 30.
They only had 100 rushing yards. I mean, Edwards-Helaire, now they didn't run the ball that much. The Chiefs, they did have some good averages, I see. But, like, their offense did not do that much.
They didn't have to do anything. They scored on the first drive. They went right down the field, and that was impressive, and that was it. And then the Broncos just played like crap, and Philip Lindsay, who's their heart and soul, he was just killing it, and then he had to leave the game due to a concussion, and that was pretty much the game.
How many times has that happened where Philip Lindsay has to miss time?
He's such a small dude.
Oh, and one of my favorite conspiracies to believe in,
oh my gosh,
is that teams send other teams' players to that same division, to a different team in that division. And this started when the Cowboys had Norv Turner as their offensive coordinator with Emmett, Aikman, Irvin. He goes to Washington to be the head coach. And that is right when the Redskins got really crappy. So my thought was he was sabotaging the organization. And since then, I've always believed this to be the case. This year's example is Melvin Gordon. Former Charger has now gone to the Broncos and is eating away the insides of that football team, Igoe, because every time I have Twitter on, he fumbles or he does something stupid to cost them possession.
He has now lost 3 fumbles in 4 games as a Bronco, 5 games. Philip Lindsay has never lost a fumble in his pro career. I cannot stand Melvin Gordon. He's a decent running back, but they paid him $8 million. They didn't even really need him. They could have spent it on the offensive line, which is horrible. But how can you not execute a flea flicker?
Oh, yeah.
That was the most embarrassing play I've ever seen. Perfectly set up. I got so excited when I saw him turn around to toss the ball back to Drew Lock, and he just lays it right over his head. And then he fumbled early in the game too. He always comes up smiling after these plays, which I've said before. This really bothers me. He doesn't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
He had a DUI off the field earlier this year. I don't really know what he's doing.
Yeah. I'm telling you what he's doing. He's sabotaging the Broncos. That's what it is.
Maybe they'll pull a Eli Apple and just cut him.
Perhaps.
Probably not, though, because he's guaranteed too much money.
Breaking news, Ian Rappaport says that the Cowboys have traded Everson Griffin to the Lions in exchange for a draft pick, for draft pick compensation. That would be a 2021 6th-round pick for Everson Griffin as the Cowboys fire sale beginning. Washington is still in the mix, obviously, in the crappy NFC East, but I've seen a lot of talk of potentially sending Ryan Kerrigan to a contender, which honestly I would not be opposed to because they've got so many young guys on defense that we'd be okay, and I would like to see Kerrigan win. Kind of like when Kemba Walker went to Boston. It was okay, get Kemba out of here so he can actually win and advance in the playoffs. I kind of feel that way about Kerrigan, so I wouldn't hate it. But I don't know. What does this say to you, Igoe, that the Cowboys are sending away Everson Griffin?
Is he still good?
I know he had a sack on Sunday.
I know he was good with the Vikings, but I
wonder if he's on one of those 1 year because he's a veteran now. So
yeah, I don't know. The Cowboys are they're just horrific. So that whole division's a joke, man. The Giants, if any team has a 2-game winning streak, I feel like they'll have an insurmountable advantage for the rest of the teams to catch.
What if the Eagles beat the Giants and Cowboys back to back?
That's huge.
Their magic number might be down to 1 or 2.
And just watching that Giants game Thursday night, they look horrible. We'll still find a way to win. Is Andy Dalton? Is he out long term? What's his deal? Because I guess Ben DiNucci might lead the Cowboys to a victory and a first place standing in the NFC East.
Coached by Mike Houston and I guess Donnie K as well.
Yeah, he coached them or they coached him in 2018 when they made it to the championship game and lost to which one is it? North Dakota State?
I think so. Yeah. We were talking about that yesterday. If it's going to be a cold weather game Friday, didn't James Madison go to North Dakota State to win that?
Yeah, I think so because they won it in the Fargo Dome.
It's a dome. Well, that takes away.
No. Yes, I think so.
So they don't play outside?
I don't think so. I think they play in the Fargo Dome, which is supposedly the toughest place to play in FCS.
I'm going to look that up. Fargo Dome, North Dakota State. Very good, Igoe. Opened in late 1992. Let's take a time out. Rohan on Facebook Live says, at what point did Clip launch that Dmitry Spazayevich tweet? That was classic. I don't remember what the tweet was. Rohan, if you could remind me of what that was, I'd like to know. Because I'm sure it was classic. But
do you know where Dmitry is now? Or at least he was last year. I'm assuming he's still.
Yeah, but no.
UMBC.
Oh.
He had a pretty decent year.
You know where my guy, I can't remember his name, but I know he went to Akron.
Oh, Ding Riak. Mount Riak.
Mount Riak is in Akron. I do know that.
I think he's graduated by now, though.
All right, let's take a time out. We will come back and actually talk football. Promise, with Steve and Igoe. We're back after this.
paid for by Dillon for Judge.
Well, if it isn't Danny Lotz, a member of the 1957 National Championship Tar Heels. How you getting along, Danny?
CA, the Lord is really blessing me, and you look well. By the way, CA, have you seen the sample ballot for this year's election?
Well, I'm casting my vote for Chris Dillon.
I'm Judge Chris Dillon. Though my father and Dr. Lotz rooted for different teams, I was honored when they recorded that ad for my first campaign nearly a decade ago. Both men were great role models in my life, and I've strived to emulate their example of treating all people equally, no matter what team they rooted for or their politics. When you vote this year, please remember the 5 Court of Appeals races. I will be the only candidate on your ballot seeking re-election, having served longer on the court than the other 9 candidates combined. I have broad bipartisan support, including the endorsements of both Democrat and Republican judges. So no matter your affiliation, this year when you get to the judges, I would again be honored if you would vote to re-elect me, Judge Chris Dillon. Thank you.
So look for the judges and vote Chris Dillon.
This is Brandon Tate with Firstborn Food Distribution, and coming up on Saturday, November 21st, we're going to feed 5,000 people. We need 2 things. 1, we need you to help volunteer and help deliver this food. 2, we need your money. It costs over $16,000 to do this, and we need you to step up to the plate with your wallets and your time. To donate or volunteer, please visit pr927fm.com and click on our ad. Firstborn Food Distribution. Come feed your neighbors.
Hey guys, are you tired of tagging along with your wife or your girlfriend when you need a pedicure or manicure? Do you feel intimidated being the only guy in a female nail salon? If so, then I have the solution for you. The Man Cave is now open. I'm Amanda and I've opened the Man Cave to give men a spot just for them and for their grooming needs. Come relax in our comfortable masculine atmosphere and enjoy some free drinks and snacks during your nail service. The Man Cave, next to Lighting by Design on Fire Tower Road in Greenville.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is former ECU tight end Bryce Williams from my friends at the Auto Store Group. If you're in the market for a quality used vehicle, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Go Pirates!
Hidden phone trade-ins, hidden plan requirements, hidden catches. You won't find them at US Cellular because we speak fair. Plus, when you switch right now, you can get the latest phones free. Upgrade to fair. Upgrade to US Cellular. Requires new postpaid service plan, new line port in, credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional terms apply.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience. With a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips, and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
Can't make it to the game? Relax. Bostic Sugg Furniture can provide you with the best seats in the house. We have the area's largest selection of Lazy Boy motion furniture in stock and ready to go. Lazy Boy recliners, reclining sofas, love seats, and reclining sectionals in hundreds of colors, styles, fabrics, and leather, all at a very comfortable price. Remember, when it comes to Lazy Boy motion furniture, we're your ticket to the best seats in the house. Bostic Sugg Furniture in Greenville.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by First National Bank. With approximately 100 locations throughout the Carolinas, First National Bank is helping both individuals and businesses redefine convenience in banking. Visit us today at fnb-online.com. First National Bank, member FDIC. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. With approximately 100 locations throughout the Carolinas, First National Bank is helping both individuals and businesses redefine convenience in banking. Visit us today at fnb-online.com. First National Bank, member FDIC. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Broad.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live, Hour 3 here on a Tuesday. We're in one of those random conversation moods with Steve and Igoe today, talking basketball, talking about old players. Yeah, we'll be up all night long Friday, Shirley. That is true. Steven, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at the UMBC basketball roster.
The team that knocked off Virginia in the tournament a couple years ago. What are you chuckling at?
Not only did they have former ECU big man Dmitry Spazievich, but also brand new to their roster is former ECU big man Rico Quinton.
Oh, wow. I have not. I wiped that name from my brain. Rico Quinton. Because didn't he get hurt when he played here?
Yeah, he had dealt with an injury.
Or just disappeared completely? I don't remember.
He had one game where he scored 10 points, and everybody was like, play Rico Quinton.
Yeah.
And he never played, and he transferred. But he is now at UMBC after finishing last year at Columbia State Community College.
Ironically, didn't we want their coach, Ryan Odom,
yes,
son of Dave?
And apparently he studied their roster instead of making the move here, and now he's just taking all these used players.
Wow. All right. I'm also keeping an eye on Bob Pockrass on Twitter because he has tweeted the same stuff for the last 3 days. They're trying to get a race in Texas, and it basically says, sounds like they're going to need some fortune to get this race in today. This reminds me of an extended edition of an ECU regional, Igoe, especially with this guy, because he's up in the press box.
Right.
And just chilling there all day Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday now, trying to get this race in. Quite comical. All right, Shirley, we will be giving away something new out of the booty bag today. How about a little CPW's action?
Yes, we're going to give away a free lunch courtesy of CPW sometime this hour.
Stay tuned. More Pirate Radio Live is on the way after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2020 GMC Sierra and save over $10,000 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
Anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
Hi, this is Luke Kuechly. Last season, I was captain on defense. This season, since so many of us will be watching football from home, I'm football watching with Pepsi. And you know me, I pour everything I've got into it. All right, football watchers, let's do this. Opening click-offs. Here we go. Click on, click off. Click on, click off. Stretch that thumb. You can't have finger fatigue bringing you down into postseason. Nice job. And my favorite, second half sip-offs. Pepsi's up, lift, pull, open. Ice cold Pepsi and watching football. Nothing better.
It's not game day without a delicious, refreshing Pepsi, the official soft drink of the National Football League. Head to your nearest retailer, grab your Pepsi before kickoff, then sit back, relax, and cheer on your favorite team. Pepsi, made for football watching.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep
those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glenburnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street, and get a Fast Pass for only $9.99 at the new location on Glenburnie Road in New Bern.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
This is Sam Jones inviting you to join us for lunch, dinner, or takeout at Sam Jones Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out fresh food cooked over wood every single day. That's our Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue, slow-cooked chicken, smoked turkey, and spare ribs. There are no freezers here. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I'll bet you'll be able to taste the difference in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
This is Coach Blake Carroll, Defense Coordinator for East Carolina Football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by First National Bank. With approximately 100 locations throughout the Carolinas, First National Bank is helping both individuals and businesses redefine convenience in banking. Visit us today at fnb-online.com. First National Bank, member FDIC. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. and is the best place to watch your favorite sports while enjoying the best wings in town, along with sandwiches, appetizers, cold beer, and more. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, thank you, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, video producing today's program. Stephen Igoe here in the Pirate Radio studios. One last basketball sentence, but it will tie into football and we can move on. We're just looking at Houston's roster and how good they are. It was not that long ago that Houston was bottom of the barrel in the AAC in Kelvin Sampson's first year. They got good pretty quick, and now they're really, really good, top 25 good. I'm trying to figure out when this Tulsa turnaround happened, Igoe, right before my eyes in football, because they were bad. And I don't know if I just put Philip Montgomery on the hot seat for multiple years or if he was really on it. We talked with Ronnie yesterday. That win over UCF last year might have saved his job late in the year. And then they blow out ECU the final game of the regular season in 2019. How did Tulsa get so good so fast?
Well, I think it happened last year. They just had the wins to back it up. I mean, I remember watching them last year and being like, this is not a bad football team talent-wise. Now, you can ask, how do you only win 4 games? You are what your record says you are, all that sort of stuff. But talent-wise, they look like they look like a Power 5 team in the trenches, and their size. I mean, they have got the biggest secondary every year. I don't know where they find these dudes at, but they have a 6'4", 200-pound safety. I think another one is 6'2", 200. Their corner's 6'3", 205. Their other corner's like 6'2" or 6'3". And it's just like, I don't know where they find these guys because they're not really highly recruited, or they take transfers like the quarterback Zach Smith of Baylor and the running back Prince from Texas A&M. So I think Philip Montgomery has just been there long enough where he's done a good job of stacking talent. They redshirt a lot of guys. They develop them. And even a lot of their best defensive players this year are young redshirt freshmen, sophomore type of players. They do have some underclassmen that have been in the program, or upperclassmen, like Zaven Collins, but they've just, in a time when everything is so instant gratification, they've done a good job of sticking with Philip Montgomery. And I think he's built the program by recruiting and retainment and development.
And a lot of times on this show, I will stammer as I look for something, and Yesterday I did that when Ellerby was here, and it was not my fault. I was looking at the rankings Igoe to see where Tulsa was, and clearly they are. Memphis is 26th, Liberty 27, Tulsa 28. They're knocking on the door of the top 25.
They were knocking on the door last week, weren't they? And somehow, I think Oklahoma jumped them.
Oh God!
Because
3-2.
They're Oklahoma.
Yeah. But yesterday, while I was looking at this, I realized why I was stammering and couldn't find it, because on ESPN.com they had Memphis, Liberty, Tulane. And
I think that's a mistake.
I saw that later on Twitter in the night, and I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. I was like, why is Tulsa not in the receiving votes category? Because the AAC gets so little respect, #Power6 from ESPN, that they said Tulane instead of Tulsa was receiving 80 votes and nearly in the top 25. So there you go.
Rather confusing.
All right. So keys this week, Igoe. Talked about it with Ronnie, how this could be a game where they sit and try to stop Rajay Harris from running the football, and then it gets down to what can you do in the passing game? Can the receiver for East Carolina beat his guy one-on-one? And I thought back to a previous conversation we had about Tulsa's DBs and their size, and that might be the matchup to watch, the one-on-one, their DBs versus our guys this week.
I think that's the thing. I look at this game, and ECU has to play better on the perimeter offensively. You know, I think it's going to be tough in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Now, if ECU plays and gets their assignments and does all that sort of stuff like they have the last 2 weeks, they'll have a chance to protect Holton Ahlers, but I worry about just both sides of the ball with Tulsa's size. But Tulsa is the type of team where they're going to get up in your face. They're going to challenge you on the perimeter, just like UCF did, just like Tulsa did last year. And ECU has not handled that well at times, and that's something that this receiving corps has to overcome. They've got to be able to play against a physical secondary, specifically C.J. Johnson. You know, Cincinnati did some of that too, and they got burned with some big plays. So we've seen good and we've seen bad with that type of style. And Tulsa, as we mentioned, they have some of the biggest DBs in the country, and so maybe you look at sliding a CJ into the slot, Matosho into the slot, get them on a smaller corner to get some separation there. So I think ECU's got to do something to help out the receivers, but the receivers also have to play better this game.
And you've had a lot of time to not only prepare for what Tulsa does, but also throw some wrinkles in for your offense. And you mentioned CJ in the slot. That's how they got him open for a touchdown against South Florida, right? So we might see some different looks from Donnie Kirkpatrick and the offensive side when ECU takes on Tulsa coming up on Friday night. Defensively, Igoe, I mean, do you feel like this defense has a little momentum heading into this game? I mean, I know they lost against Navy, but really tough, physical, solid performance for most of that game. They were able to hold South Florida down for the majority for a lot of that game. They got a little momentum heading into this one.
I think if you look at the last 2.5 games, they've played really well. I mean, the second half of Georgia State, they were pretty dominant. They didn't really allow anything until the last drive of the game, which was kind of garbage time. Same thing versus USF at the end. So I think the defense is playing with some momentum. You know, the toughest thing about Tulsa is they are extremely balanced. I mean, they can beat you with the run. They can beat you with the pass. Even with their top running back out for the year with the torn ACL, Shamari Brooks, who ran for 200 yards last year at ECU, they plugged in Prince from Texas A&M. They have Corey Taylor, who's a very solid running back. They have TK Wilkerson, who's a good running back. I mean, they just have a lot of guys who can get it done. And I just remember looking at their right tackle last year, and he just a gigantic human being. He's back. Their left tackle's good, even though he left the last game with an injury. So you're going to have to do some things to try and take away the run, but then they've got 3 or 4 receivers that can beat you in the air. I mean, I think a lot of this, when I watched Tulsa last year, their quarterback, Zach Smith, was inconsistent. You know, he has extremely big upside. He's got NFL arm talent, but against ECU, he was on. He throws for 5 touchdowns. In other games, he was kind of all over the place. And I did notice against South Florida, when South Florida blitzed, their O-line kind of struggled, and he wasn't great under pressure. Now, if you let him sit back there, he's going to beat you. So
we're going to see a lot of blitzing.
I expect that Blake Harrell will be aggressive against Zach Smith. I mean, you have to do something to try and disrupt this offense. Otherwise, I think they're going to have their way.
What about, weather in the 40s, 9 o'clock at night, kind of a dead environment, which I guess everywhere has been a dead environment for the most part this year. How does that factor in to this game?
Well, I think it's a factor. We know ECU has not played well in the cold. Historically, I do think Mike Houston has clearly established a different type of culture here. And, Tulsa will probably be jacked up because they haven't even played a home game. And this is their home opener.
That is crazy.
Insane.
Yeah. We're in late October.
Which is insane to think about. And, they're playing a home game in front of a national audience. They're trying to get in the top 25.
Yeah.
So they'll have plenty of motivation. If you're ECU, you have to come out and you've got to match their motivation and intensity and really be physical as crap early because they need to. If you're ECU, you need to prove that you're not the same team that Tulsa ran over last year. Mike Houston said that on Tuesday, but now they have to go out and prove it. They proved that they can finally slow down the triple option. They weren't able to win the game, but I still thought they made progress. Now can they do the same? They got smacked by South Florida last year, came back and smacked South Florida against Navy. Showed
dominated forever.
Yeah.
And
so now can you do it against another team that really took it to you in your own house last year?
ECU Revenge Tour 2020.
Yes, Revenge Tour 2020. Tulane is the revenge game from a couple of years ago when they finally won in Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. Can't let that happen again. Cincinnati, we all know what happened last year. That's the ultimate revenge game.
We still need revenge from when they beat us on that Thursday night.
Yes.
In 2014.
We need Jake Verity to make a 59-yard field goal as time expires just to break their hearts.
Igoe, did anything, in your opinion, change about the American on Saturday? And I say that because Cincinnati, they beat SMU. The score wasn't as bad as the game was. They were able to score late. But they controlled that game against SMU on the road. Houston goes to Navy and is able to win and cover, as we talked about. We didn't think that would happen. Tulsa over South Florida. Anything, in your opinion, change from the results on Saturday?
Not too much. I think Cincinnati is the most complete team in this league, and they play good defense. They run the ball. Their quarterback makes plays when they need to make them.
I feel like they got guys on the outside that are they're all kind of short, but they're super fast and quick. And if Ritter is accurate at all, they could have one of the best offenses in the nation.
That's the thing is, Ritter, he's another guy who's up and down if you followed his career. A lot of Cincinnati fans aren't really thrilled with Ritter, but he wins. And they did bring in a really highly touted recruit who I think will take over eventually. But he's still a pretty young guy as a junior. And so I think this is you look at the league, I think Cincinnati and Tulsa are the two most complete teams. When you look at running game, defense, all around. SMU's the same team as last year.
They gave up 1 million points to Tulane the other night.
Could have easily lost to Tulane, struggled with Texas State. They're very beatable in my opinion. Memphis, same type of deal. Good offense, bad defense. UCF, same type of deal. Temple, I don't know what the heck they're doing this year. They're kind of weird. They almost beat Memphis on the road.
Oh, I was speaking of UCF when you were talking about SMU.
Oh, well, UCF, they struggled with... They're just bad defensively.
They gave up a lot of points to Tulane, and then we were talking about SMU. Could have lost to Tulane. Yeah, right.
Tulane, so they're 0-4, but they could have beaten SMU.
I think SMU is a mini UCF. UCF's offense is better, but they both... UCF's defense is probably a little better, but they both aren't a factor this year. Their defenses aren't good enough.
Houston making strides for sure under Holgerson. I'm still.
You're not a believer yet?
No, they haven't. They've played Tulane and Navy. I mean, when they play SMU and Memphis and some of these other teams, I'll be interested to see how they do. I think they're still a year away, but I think next year they're going to be good.
They got UCF at Cincinnati coming up next. So the old phrase we like to say, we'll learn a lot about Houston these next 2 weeks.
UCF, Cincinnati, at SMU, Tulsa, at Memphis. I mean, that's 5 games they're probably underdogs in.
Yeah. And again, you put Tulsa up there right at the top. If there was an East versus West this year, would that be your championship game at this point?
As it sits here, right now. And I don't think Tulsa will run the table. I think they're not that good, but I still think they're very complete. And they're going to be in every game with their defense. So.
Wager loves a look ahead. I was hoping they would play like Cincinnati after ECU. Right. But they're at Navy. It's probably not much of a look at.
Last year they got crushed by Navy.
Maybe they're practicing the option all week.
They were one of two. They were along with ECU. They got hammered by Navy last year. I think it was like 40-something to 3.
All right, I smell a look ahead. Interesting. All right, what was that? Johnny Temple is on the clock. I wonder if that was going back to our revenge talk.
Temple
we owe them so much.
You want to talk about revenge game? Temple is the ultimate revenge game.
Good grief! Through the years, just cannot. We can beat them in hoops.
Yeah,
just can't beat them in football.
ECU basically owns them in hoops by ECU versus
standards.
By ECU versus the AAC standards. I mean, they're pretty much 500 with them. So,
all right, Igoe, what you got this week on Hoist the Colors?
We got our podcast coming out tomorrow, which will preview the Tulsa game. We'll also have a ton of recruiting coverage. ECU sent out a lot of new JUCO offers for the offensive line specifically. We're catching up with those guys. We got a 50% off promotion running right now for an annual subscription to Hoist the Colors, so check that out. That'll take you through the rest of this season, baseball, basketball, signing day, spring football, and the start of next season. So 50% off, less than $5 a month. Jump on it.
All right, tonight, Game 6, Dodgers, Rays. Who you got?
Blake Snell and the Rays.
I got the Rays tonight, too.
I think it'll go 7. I think the Dodgers win 7, but hoping for a Rays win tonight, and then trivia tomorrow night with Game 7 on at AJ's.
I hope so, because if not, all we're going to have tomorrow night is MLS.
Okay, well, then I will not be there.
Wait, what about the you're there for the trivia,
I'm there
not for what's on TV.
7. I feel like there's been a lot of Game 7s at trivia lately in 2020. Maybe there was just the potential of one and it never came to fruition.
Yeah,
I think there was a Nuggets Game 7 possibility.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Happen.
Yeah, I'm hoping for Game 7 Wednesday night at Sports Trivia. All right, thanks, Igoe. Enjoyed it. Shirley, before we take a timeout, let's go ahead and make somebody a winner right now.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
CPW's is back open for lunch every day. So CPW's is on the line today. How about a free lunch at CPW's? So many awesome options, and it can be yours if you are caller 12 at 317-1250. 317-1250. Caller 12 is a winner. Free CPW's lunch on the line. We're back with you after this. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
That's right. It's the most wonderful time of the year to get your car washed at the Shine Factory in Greenville. Now through the end of the year, the Shine Factory is offering their unlimited Lava Factor car wash for only $20 per month or the Manager Special Wash for only $25 per month. Simply pay one low price and wash all month, anytime, with free high-powered vacuums. Plus, don't forget to pick up some gift cards for your family and friends. The Shine Factory is open daily from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. on Memorial Drive across from Lowe's. North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors. Parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or a day trip as the state safely reopens. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember the 3 W's. Wear face coverings, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. Focus on moving through the park, keep social distancing in mind, and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park before your visit with questions or visit ncparks.gov/open.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar in Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. Order the Jersey Mike's catering box today. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
It's Jersey Mike's time. One Club Supreme? Check. What's Aaron's Way? Only $2.99 for Pepsi and Lay's? I'm in. Order your sub Aaron's Way on the Jersey Mike's app or visit a Jersey Mike's store.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that. Plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Hey Pirate fans, the Papa John's menu has grown again with the all-new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. The papadillas are part sandwich, part pizza, and are only $6. Choose from the all-new grilled buffalo chicken, Philly cheesesteak, Italian, pepperoni meatball, and barbecue chicken and bacon, all for only $6 each. Also for a limited time, get any large 5-topping pizza for only $13.99. Place your order today online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates. Got big dreams for your small business? You're not alone. The Gavigan Agency Insurance Services is a growing business too. That's why they work with Nationwide, the #1 small total business insurer in the U.S. Nationwide can help protect and grow your business so you can focus on making your small business dreams come true. Give the Gavigan Agency Insurance Services a call today at 252-756-1400. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Subject to underwriting guidelines, review, and approval.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Baseball is back at Clark LeClaire Stadium. We will be hosting several youth camps over the next couple months. All camps will be at Clark LeClaire Stadium, and all camps are open to participants between the ages of 7 and 13. Make sure to check out our camp website at cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com for all camp details and registration information. And of course, go Pirates!
Pirate Radio.
I can promise you, we are going to be a hard-nosed, physical, fundamentally sound, disciplined football team. We're going to compete and go toe-to-toe with anybody we match up against. But that's going to be our mentality year-round.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by First National Bank. With approximately 100 locations throughout the Carolinas, First National Bank is helping both individuals and businesses redefine convenience in banking. Visit us today at fnb-online.com. First National Bank, member FDIC. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At Angel Oak, they continue to make customer service a #1 priority. A local mortgage advisor is the key to your transaction success. The combination of their local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard, conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for every financial situation. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060. And congratulations to Josh Thomas of Greenville. Picked up free lunch at CPW's. CPW's is back and open every day for lunch. CPW's classic menu is also back with all of your favorites like tortellini CPW's, Cajun chicken and pasta, classic lasagna, the garbage pizza, the stromboli, the calzone, the Atlantic salmon, Cajun fried shrimp wrap, and more. Start every meal off with your favorite beverage and CPW's fresh baked bread and garlic butter. CPW's is back and back open for lunch in the Stanton Square Shopping Center next to the hospital. You can also follow CPW's on Facebook for daily updates. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Broad.
Girl, you know it's true. Oh, Milli Vanilli.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Chandler, are you familiar at all with Milli Vanilli? Yeah. One of the
before your time, son.
One of the weirdest, wildest stories ever, right, Shirley? I mean, they were a very popular band. They had, or not band, musical group. Were they brothers, or did they?
I don't believe that they were brothers.
Okay, there was two dudes, and they had this song, and they had "Blame It on the Rain."
Blame It on the Rain.
Many others.
Oh God, there was a slow song. And it's escaping me. I want to say "Girl, I Miss You." I think it's a slow song. Girl, I miss you. I can't remember. There was a slow song in there somewhere.
Chandler's already stopped listening. So they won like Grammys. And stuff,
they were
right?
Grammy nominated, Grammy Award winners.
But then it came out that they were not just like lip syncing live concerts. Like they literally didn't sing any of their songs.
Yeah.
They were just kind of, I guess they were good looking guys.
They were basically the face of the band.
So they put them out there and had other dudes, probably like fat guys like me, singing.
Oh.
And they were exposed.
Yeah.
And in fact, it started kind of right at a live deal where the record got hung up and it kept going, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's. And they were like looking around like, oh, crap.
Because really up until that point, I think a lot of artists do use what they call backing vocals or like a loop vocal, especially when they are doing award shows, because there's so many technical issues that could happen during award shows. So a lot of award shows, artists do lip sync their performances,
so they can do their dances too, and all
that stuff. Well, but the thing is that nobody really knew that until this whole Milli Vanilli thing, and then it just exploded. And artists were scrambling, trying to, legitimize their craft, because of course that was back in the late 80s, early 90s when Milli Vanilli came out. Well, that's right along the time that New Kids on the Block was out, and they were accused of lip syncing, and there was just this whole
another famous
slew of lip syncing.
Another famous one was Saturday Night Live, Jessica Simpson's sister. Ashley Simpson.
I do remember that. I watched that and I went, oh,
yeah,
that's
they started
not good.
Like playing a different song. With her singing while she was supposed to be singing a song. Anyway.
It was hilarious.
All right, I had to look up, Shirley, while you were reading that ad for CPWs. Who was our winner, by the way?
Josh Thomas.
Josh?
Yes.
Oh, Josh.
Yes.
I wonder what he's going to sound like while he's eating, Shirley.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did have that, and I just...
Congratulations, Josh, who is tuned in right now. Josh says, by the way, on Facebook, we have Blame It on the Rain blasting in the jungle in the 2019 regional. Yes, that was a very appropriate song. I had to look up the garbage pie pizza, Shirley. You mentioned that from CPW's. Pepperoni, meatball, Italian sausage, bacon, caramelized onion.
Wait, read that again?
Pepperoni, meatball, Italian sausage, bacon, caramelized onion. That is right up my alley. In fact, if I go, I'm going to get the garbage pie.
Can't do the Italian sausage, can't do the meatball, but the rest of it sounded great.
There is something for everyone at CPW's, and Josh will be enjoying that coming up. All right, let's hear more from Mike Houston on this matchup with the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. And Stephen Igoe with the change in schedule asked about COVID testing. We heard that yesterday. Also asked about when will the team be leaving, and asked would he be traveling on Thursday. Cut 3, Shirley. I'm sorry.
We are. We're not leaving Greenville till probably about 2 o'clock. Eat dinner just a touch later Thursday evening. Get to bed just a touch later Thursday night, and just really let them sleep in Friday morning. Trying to make sure that we're well rested for the night game. So very similar day on Friday to our Saturday down in South Florida.
It's just a long wait, and you got to keep guys occupied. We'll talk about that with Bryce Williams later in the week, who will join us Thursday this week on Pirate Radio Live. And what do you do while you wait for a 9 o'clock kickoff if you are these players? One thing they're going to do is focus on ball security and trying to hold on to the football, because Tulsa not only has a good defense, but they also have a defense that forces a lot of turnovers, and Mike Houston talked about that. Cut 4, Cheryl.
Well, I think it's the name of the game every week, and certainly, we've seen just Tulsa's defense is really outstanding again this year. The 16-7 game against Oklahoma State in the opener, very impressive defensive performance there, and of course, wins in their last 2 games against UCF and USF. So it's going to be a challenge. We got to do a great job with ball security. We got to do a great job with execution.
All right, Mike Houston, one of those guys on defense that is a playmaker and that you have to account for is number 23, Zaven Collins. He is the linebacker, the junior, and Mike Houston talked about Collins.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's one of the best linebackers in our league, and probably a guy that you're going to see playing on Sunday. Just from the game at the end of the season last year, I thought he was just a quality player then, but I think he's improved over the off season. Big, can run. He had the interception return for a touchdown there Friday night. He's just a very active player, really plays downhill. You've seen when he triggers very fast on the run and really gets downhill quickly. So we're going to have to do a good job of trying to take care of him Friday night.
Collins, a guy that Houston remembers from last year. What about that game last year, Coach? Do you look back at that loss as you prepare for this one?
Well, I mean, I don't think our team really compares in any way to last year's team. I think we all know that from a competitive standpoint, and just for a lot of reasons. But the one thing that stood out to me during that matchup last year was just how big physically Tulsa was on both sides of the ball. Big receivers, big DBs, big defensive front, big offensive front. It's just a large football team. So the same guys are back, so you do know what to expect right there. And that's the reason I think that our ability to play fast and play a very physical game Friday night is going to be very important.
Coming up at 6:15, we'll be talking to Donnie Kirkpatrick and also Blake Harrell via Zoom, and we'll have the quotes for you up on our social media sites and the videos up on that later on all of our Pirate Radio social media sites. But one thing I want to talk to Donnie Kirkpatrick about is, do you fine-tune what you've been doing, or do you throw in some new wrinkles, a trick play here, a new formation there? And could one of those things be involving Mason Garcia in that? Ronnie Woodward asked Mike Houston if we could see Mason involved in a different look.
Well, I think you could. I think there's certain situations for it. And I think, the biggest thing with him, and, he and I talked about it on Saturday, is now that he's played and he understands just how fast things happen on the field on game day, for him, that experience is just so valuable. And I just, I really am trying to get him to, even while Holton is taking reps or playing on Saturday, just understanding, here's the call, here's what you're seeing defensively, just trying to see the same things that Holton is seeing, because, Holton has a great grasp of our offense. So I think that you still are in a developmental stage with Mason, but I think certainly you saw some strengths of his on display against Navy that you could see us incorporate in as the season moves on.
All right, will there be a wrinkle with Garcia and Ehlers on the field at the same time? Garcia coming in for a play, we shall see. It's great to have the lefty back at practice and ready to start coming up on Friday, but we saw that Garcia can do some damage, especially with his legs, and his arm is only going to get better as the year progresses. Tulsa, a very good, solid 2-1 team. Their only loss coming to a top 10, and are they even top 5 now? Oklahoma State team there in the Big 12, a game they could have won. Oklahoma State sitting 6th in the country right now at 4-0. That's Tulsa's only loss this year. What are the keys? What do you got to do to stay in the game and knock off a team like Tulsa?
Well, I think we've got to continue to build on our last 2 games out in that, in both of those games, we executed at a much higher level than we did earlier in the season. We had very few MAs up front on the offensive line against Navy and against South Florida. And because of that execution, we were very productive in the run game. The quarterbacks had a lot more time in the pocket. And so I just think, we got to match their physicality up front, but we got to make sure we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. So as few as self-inflicted errors as possible, which would allow us to, be more productive in the run game and the passing game.
All right. Mike Houston was also asked about the bye week and how the players handled it, having the week off, and now as they get set for Tulsa.
Well, I think that, you had to get beyond the Navy game last week, and I thought they did a good job of that. But I thought, Saturday's practice was very spirited, great energy on both sides of the ball. I said it last week. I wish we'd have played last weekend because you really felt like you were getting some momentum going. But at the end of the day, it's good to have the guys back that we would have been without again this past weekend going into this game. So I think the spirits are high. The kids know we got a challenge in front of us, but I think that they have confidence in the way that they're playing. And so I expect us to be very energetic and really have a great week of practice going into that game Friday night.
All right, head football coach of the Pirates, Mike Houston, and a couple of position groups that have really grown up just this season since game one, D-line and O-line, and we're seeing young individuals grow up, and one of those guys is Trent Holler, who is getting some playing time on the offensive line, and Mike Houston talked about his progression.
Really, really excited with him. He's been a guy that's really worked hard since he's gotten here and really developed a good bit. And you know what you're going to get with Trent. You're going to get everything he's got inside of him. He's a physical guy. He's got good feet, got a lot of power, really strong, and very smart. So he's not going to make many mistakes. And he's continued to progress, and just hopefully we can see that continue throughout this week and this coming weekend with Friday night's game.
All right, everything is difficult in 2020, preparing for games, winning games, but also building for the future when it comes to recruiting. And Mike Houston went over some of the challenges of recruiting in 2020.
Well, it's like everything else in 2020. It's unprecedented. You got Alabama and Georgia and South Carolina all playing, Florida playing, and then North Carolina not playing, and Virginia's not playing. And so it makes it really tough with an evaluation standpoint on both the seniors and the juniors, because a lot of guys you really want to see that senior film, and those kids are being robbed of that. And then it's also complicated by the ramifications of basically everybody getting an extra year of eligibility from this year. So I just think the whole thing is it's crazy. We're recruiting kids and we can't see them face to face. We can't bring them on campus, let them see the facilities, let them see a game day. You can't see a player live, which that's really we put a big premium on live evaluations. I think this whole thing with the pandemic, this is not going to be just a 1 year impact on recruiting and on your rosters. This is going to be a 3 and 4 year impact on not only the high school kids, but your current kids that you have on your roster right now. And it's something everybody's got to deal with. You got to be able to manage the roster and also still bring guys in, because you got to have a freshman class 4 or 5 years from now. And so it's really going to be tough.
And he got into it there, and then was asked more about the challenges of having seniors that are going to be returning, newcomers coming in, trying to handle all that from a football standpoint, a financial standpoint. And here's what Mike Houston said.
Well, you have your 85 scholarships, and you have your 25 counters for the incoming class of recruits, and then all of your seniors get an extra year of eligibility. Well, everybody gets an extra year of eligibility. So you're going to see some teams that have 110 scholarships or so next year, because those plus ones above the 85 from whatever your senior class is don't count. And so. But then you're going to come down to institutions being restricted financially, because you are in the middle of a pandemic, and so you're going to have those factors also. So again, that's what I'm saying is this is not a 1 year deal. This is a 3 or 4 year problem that schools are going to have to navigate and deal with.
All right, there is Mike Houston coming up later on this week. In fact, it'll be Wednesday on the show around this time, around 5:30. We'll be talking to Kelly Hines from the Tulsa World, and I'm looking at an article that she had back in September, because I wanted to find a number on this. It says attendance at University of Tulsa home football games this season will be limited to roughly 4,000 fans. So that'll be 13% of the 30,000 seat stadium. That was back in September. I'm going to assume that is the same. They haven't had a home game, and they won't until Friday night. But I'm assuming that is still the number for Friday night when it comes to Tulsa's game. We'll talk more about that and more with Kelly coming up on Wednesday's show. But Mike Houston was asked about, does even a small number of fans impact the game?
I don't know what the situation is at Tulsa, and I know they're going to have fans. I don't know what their capacity is going to be, but certainly the more fans there, the better the atmosphere. You saw that with our Navy game. We had 3,500 fans, and I thought it was a significant improvement on the game day atmosphere from the UCF game. I thought the stadium had great energy from that small group, last Saturday a week ago. So, it's the same at every school. Your fan base, they really make the game day atmosphere. And so, it's important to every institution.
And finally, Holden Ayler's back. Mason Garcia to the backup role. And, you know, Mason Garcia not only inexperienced and didn't know he was going to start until, you know, kind of early last week, but also just doesn't have the chemistry with the wide receivers that Holton Ahlers has gotten, you know, over the years and this offseason. And Mike Houston talked about that.
Well, I think the whole thing is just most of them have been with Holton for, you know, multiple years. And so, and of course they, you know, during the pandemic, most of them were working out with him. And so they've got a lot of reps with him. You know, it's, you know, Mason is going to be a very good passing quarterback in time. It's just, you know, you can't substitute for the, you know, 1,000+ reps that Holton Ahlers has had. And, you know, that's just that timing and that chemistry and all that stuff is just so important. And it's so hard to, you know, to generate and develop. And I think that our group has a really solid kind of deal with Holton because of all that experience there. So, you know, they're going to gain that in time with Mason also, and with some of the other quarterbacks. But it's just, you know, those guys are very young and have only been here a very small amount of time.
All right, Mike Houston from Monday's Zoom. There will be another Mike Houston Zoom coming up on Wednesday, and we'll be hearing from the coordinators later today in about 20 minutes or so. Donnie Kirkpatrick, Blake Harrell will have that for you on Wednesday's Pirate Radio Live and also on our social media sites coming up tonight. So make sure you check that out. All right, let's get our final break in. Chad is like John Moody and Redbeard are our resident unpaid Pirate Radio NASCAR analysts. Josh and John Moody, kind of our unpaid eyes at practice. Are the guys practicing or not analysts?
Okay.
And Chad is like Shirley's unpaid music intern. he tends to talk about music with you a lot.
Yes.
He sent out the Girl You Know It's True GIF and also pointed out the name of the song, Shirley, you were trying to come up with from Milli Vanilli. Girl, I'm gonna miss you.
I was close.
Yeah.
I think I said, girl, I miss you. I think.
Or I miss you, girl.
I miss you, girl, something like Girl, I'm gonna miss you.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So there it is. Thank you, Chad, for that.
And Chad, just so you know, I did play New Kids, but that was in the 3 o'clock hour, so I don't know if you caught it or not. But I did because I promised him I'd play some
You know
today.
what would be a good idea?
What?
For like an extra Pirate Radio prize, like Shirley Rhodes Music Bingo. And we make like bingo boards. I don't know. We'll have to figure out how to do this. But like every time you play a group, they like put mark their bingo board.
Okay.
And if
like during the show?
Like, yeah, during the show, you play different songs, you know?
Yeah, I do.
So, and it can be like throughout a whole week or something. It doesn't have to be just one show. But like somebody's listening and then they get bingo one of the ways. They call in, say the names of the songs or the names of the groups, and if you have played those, then they win bingo.
Okay. So we have to create the bingo boards, though, right?
Yeah, I know. It sounds like too much work.
You know what? No. It's not too much work. It's called We Need to Sweeten Up Glenn and have him do it.
Oh, boy.
Sorry, Glenn.
What's Jenny doing? She likes
Even
to be involved.
better, she likes to be involved. So yeah, let's get Jenny in on
Jenny,
this.
we have a fun job for you. You're gonna love it. All right, that's
because you know she's listening right now.
Girl, you know she's listening. All right, let's take a time
there
out.
was something else I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, big news. Do you want me to?
Let's save big news.
Do you want
for
me
the
to?
other side of this timeout?
Okay.
Is that what you were gonna ask?
Well, I mean, I could
say it now, or
say it now, or should we wait till later in the week? What I told you after our staff meeting yesterday?
No, let's say it after we come back from this break.
Okay, all right.
All right, we'll be back after this.
Paid for by Dylan for Judge.
Well, if it isn't Danny Lotz, a member of the 1957 National Championship Tar Heels. How you getting along, Danny?
CA, the Lord is really blessing me, and you look well. By the way, CA, have you seen the sample ballot for this year's election?
Well, I'm casting my vote for Chris Dillon.
I'm Judge Chris Dillon.
Though my father and Dr. Lotz rooted for different teams, I was honored when they recorded that ad for my first campaign nearly a decade ago. Both men were great role models in my life, and I've strived to emulate their example of treating all people equally, no matter what team they rooted for or their politics. When you vote this year, please remember the 5 Court of Appeals races. I will be the only candidate on your ballot seeking re-election, having served longer on the court than the other 9 candidates combined. I have broad bipartisan support, including the endorsements of both Democrat and Republican judges. So no matter your affiliation, this year when you get to the judges, I would again be honored if you would vote to re-elect me, Judge Chris Dillon. Thank you.
So look for the judges and vote Chris Dillon.
This is Brandon Tate with Firstborn Food Distribution, and coming up on Saturday, November 21st, we're going to feed 5,000 people. We need 2 things. 1, we need you to help volunteer and help deliver this food. 2, we need your money. It costs over $16,000 to do this, and we need you to step up to the plate with your wallets and your time. To donate or volunteer, please visit pr927fm.com and click on our ad. Firstborn Food Distribution. Come feed your neighbors.
Here today with Silverback, also known as Mark James to his friends and family. Why do you come to F3?
I came to F3 for the fitness, no doubt, like most guys. And what surprised me about F3 is I really stayed for the friendships. The guys that I've met here, I didn't know 2 years ago, and I really consider my best friends now. If I need anything, it wouldn't surprise me one bit that either one of these guys would step up to be there for whatever's needed.
One letter, one number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Stephen Igoe, publisher of HoistTheColors.net. Recruiting is the lifeblood of any college sports program, and no one devotes more coverage to the future of ECU athletics than Hoist the Colors. Want to know who's going to be the next Holton Ahlers or Jaden Gardner? We've got all the inside scoop on the Pirates' most talented recruits and top targets 24/7. Sign up now and get your first month of coverage for a single $1. HoistTheColors.net, the most reliable reporting on ECU athletics.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Hey, this is Jay from Villa Verde. Did you know that Villa Verde opened up its second location? Yes, it's Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard across the hospital. This new location is a fast casual environment where you can make your own bowls for only $9.95. Choose from our fresh ingredients from our toppings bars or enjoy an amazing rotisserie chicken. We promise you can be in and out in less than 15 minutes. For a quick, healthy meal at an affordable price, visit us at Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
Pirate Radio.
So you believe in pirates? Pirates aren't Santa. They did exist, they did have treasures, and they did bury it. You know, I had an eye patch when I was 6. Who didn't, my friend? Who didn't?
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by First National Bank. With approximately 100 locations throughout the Carolinas, First National Bank is helping both individuals and businesses redefine convenience in banking. Visit us today at fnb-online.com. First National Bank, member FDIC. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. When your AC needs repair or replacing, call on the reliable service professionals, Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Go to delcorinc.com or call them at 252-321-8868. Delcor, the service professionals in Greenville. Taking a look at your stock market report for today, the Dow slipped 222 points and closed at 27,463. The NASDAQ is up 72, however, at 11,431, and the S&P dropped 10 at 3,390. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All righty, about to wrap up today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Coming up on Wednesday, we will talk Tulsa football with Kelly Hines from the Tulsa World. Also hear from Donnie Kirkpatrick, Blake Harrell. Brian North will join us, and Wager McGee will look ahead at the football slate coming up this weekend. Shirley, what was your big news you wanted to talk about?
What we're going to do for fifth quarter?
Yeah.
Since it's going to be pretty much after midnight and everybody is dying to know what I am dressing up as for Halloween, I will do the fifth quarter in my Halloween costume.
Oh, wow. What a draw.
So if you can stay up that late, you can see just how humiliated I'm going to be live on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live and worldwide on PR927fm.com.
Who's going to be beside you, Chandler or Glenn?
It is likely going to be Glenn. You're doing it? Oh, okay. Well, then it's going to be Chandler.
Chandler's going to be up late with us. Maybe we should dress up too, Chandler.
You want to? Oh, no. Okay.
He gave me the head nod, but the face did not say head nod. That's for sure. Shirley, cannot wait to see it.
Okay.
By the way, you looked up how long that UTEP game was. You said it was how long?
3 hours and 50 minutes. Kickoff was at 7:05. The game ended at 10:55 p.m.
All right.
Their time.
This time, if that's the case, 9:05, 10. We'll be kicking off the fifth quarter around 1 a.m.
Yep.
All right. Love it. Can't wait. And Shirley will be looking awesome during it as well. All right, folks, we'll see you back here Wednesday, 3 o'clock on Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation.